Yeah.
Van Glorious, Van Gogh.
Knowledge born.
Yeah.
United Front.
Tell it.
What you want.
To the Knowledge Radio.
We in here. What you got? Dot.
Work hard as a slave to one day be your savior. The wave unwavering. This is a labor of love. Rise with a purpose every day. Invigorated. If we were on TV, we'd be 10 times syndicated. If we waited for validation, a paycheck or accolades, we'd be starved, already lost or ran away. But when you're square solid and you circle too, you don't need a place for silence. The concept is conquered through media, not areas of people activity. A mix that don't lose ethnicity, tightness that don't lose elasticity. Explicitly, this isn't where we give the novice regard. Nah, this is where knowledge is born. Last time that I checked, I'm undefeated. Deliver edicts, can't resist when the gods build and manifest freedom. When lines get crossed, they may push a loss, cause they get handed a check. We kick a can and cancel your cancerous gestures. A prophet vision, precision, the prescription for the sickness is to inoculate your fate with the winning. Arrogant beginnings turn to humble endings. And US with KBA is a win-win. 1K.
The man is not allowed to fly a plane in his own country. But you want to convince the world that this man is not only a threat to his neighbors, but he is a threat to the entire human family. You are a liar. Liar. And the people are intellectual cowards who sit down and suck up this filthy lie.
Man, I've been rapping for a minute, I don't see how niggas hate on it. Swab Boss the greatest, motherfuckers should wait on it. Even if my album drops 10 years from now, nigga, it's gonna be the hardest album out 10 years from now, nigga. The Swab Boss, you niggas should see that shit. Whatever I am in the old niggas should be that shit. Whatever they say they gon' throw, I don't agree with it. Just had a couple of my old and come at me with it, man, it's Swab Boss. The reason why these niggas get hauled off, if 100 niggas die for this cause, it's a small cost. I'm trying to get my people on their feet again, nigga, but I'm back smoking weed, drinking Hennessy, nigga. And maybe that's why I'm not back on my shit. It's Swab Boss from 2-6 who moved out to the bricks, hooked up with Bingo from 5th. Now we know we love shit, now they know they should quit trying to make it hood rich. All that bullshit on your mind, ho, I wish you would spit. Niggas know what I'm about, and they wish I would flip. Niggas ask about a track, they wanna hear that shit, but when I ask to do a track, they don't permit that shit, man. And that's the type of shit that I don't say, man. Niggas know from the go that I don't play, man. Coming straight from the streets, and I can't straight, man. They ain't fucking with him, cause he don't pay, man.
Why are the Europeans so insecure about other people in the world? And why do you, after everywhere you go, you gotta kill and murder the rest of the people of the human family? Your history is written in the blood of the black, the brown, the yellow, and the red. Why are you so insecure? Do you know what brings about insecurity? What brings about insecurity is when you have a false concept of yourself. And the false concept of self is white supremacy. They believe that they are better because they are white. And as a result, see, when a man has that kind of silly mentality, Hitler had the silly mentality that the white man, the Aryan, is superior. So then at the Olympics, Jesse Owens kicks up all the Aryans. Hitler is outraged. He's angry.
That's very simplistic.
Yeah. Well, you need it to be simplistic. You need it to be extra simplistic.
You see, they can't even take
the reality. I know they can't handle. You know, look. When you take a brick, and you hurl the brick among a pack of dogs, only the dog who gets hit yelps. Think about it.
Well, it's no shine in the tail.
Snapping off. this video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or purpose use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement intended. Enjoy. Oh yeah, on your way out, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, man. This is the Argument League. Turn up.
But make no mistake, it is season 4, man.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Stop. Oh!
Hey, I'm Dina. Look at my feet. My feet are straight ahead. You don't want to do that. You want to turn your feet out. And I'm going to do this backwards. And that's what makes it look like hip-hop. What this is with hip-hop is everything's down low. It all is in a plie. I think
Y'all already know what it is. The boy Swab about Snapping Off Entertainment, SVDL Argument League, and the AOI. Shout out to Big on the track, Z on the cam, that's Snapping Off Film. Shout out to Solar Mountain Commission, the Solar Vision Debate League, the greatest debate league on earth, the only debate league on YouTube. Shout out to Knowledge But Online, Do the Knowledge Radio, Knowledge But Online on YouTube. Shout out to the AOI, Goldmine, Brand Debate, Wicked, Radical, Ampu, Pro Black, Ground Zero, Hurricane Katrina, the King James 13, Anti-Bully Inc., a non-profit organization aimed at preventing bullying by bringing awareness to it. Shout out to the judges, the peers, and the reason we're here. The people of SVDL, hit that like button on y'all way in. Welcome to the Argument League. Yeah. Shout out to Sister Zakia. Shout out to Astro, Mika, Shabo. Shout out to AZ. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's another day. Trying to make another way. Say. Shout out to Cash, my dog. Yeah, so
I hope everybody doing good. I hope everybody hanging in there. I got a debate tomorrow and the day after that, so I will be working on my PowerPoint today. Let me put that link out there early. Yeah, I made the title. I want to do something on the paid in full thing. Alpo was murdered, and is that paid in full? Was Alpo being killed? Him being paid in full? Because ain't that what paid in full mean? You don't just get paid for your good works. You also get paid for your bad works. If you work, you deserve to get paid. It's good work. It's bad work. It's okay work. You deserve to get paid. So is that what happened? Oh, Melanated Goddess. I love that question right there because that let me know you will probably be the most intrigued out of this story. Well, there is, shout out to Green 101. Nobody tell her. Let me show you. Let me show you who Alpo is. Shout out to Malik Rain in the build. Let me see if I can get this like this for you. Melanated Goddess and the rest of the viewers, man. Hit that like button, man. I appreciate y'all presence. Y'all already know what it is, man. Here we go.
You know what's hot on the streets, man.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
This is the wave of the future, baby. Yeah, I was tripping into a whole lot of money.
The baller. The dreamer. The soldier.
Still gonna be the king. Real man takes care of his family.
So that is Alpo. Harlem legend. Part of the story of Paid in Full life in Harlem. The story Paid in Full rotated around three characters. Mitch. Money Mitch. I believe, what was his name? Well, in real life. AZ, Alpo, and Rich Porter. And the story goes, drugs were being sold. And Rich and AZ was, I'm about to say, please don't tell me I'm muted. You can't hear me? I don't know why not. Hold on. Mic check. Oh, I'm about to say. So turn your phone up. That was. Shout out to Maya Aisha Yamaha Alpha. Shout out to Saylin Morgan. Peace. They said they could hear me, Melanated. Rico and Ace. There you go. Rico, Ace, and Mitch, who is Alpo, AZ, and rich. And what?
But there was a lot of dudes I ran into when I first went to prison. Was down for 20, 40, all that type of stuff. But I wasn't worried about that. When when them gates first hit and I realized that it was real, I was wrapped in fear. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm going into the unknown. I ain't gonna front. Like dudes be trying to front and thinking, oh, it's cool. That's just scary. Because I'm first of all, you worrying about I'm like, oh, is my ass on the line?
Yeah, I remember you called me about 6 months in.
I'm like, my ass.
You called me and you was talking in codes.
Listen,
they called me, told me, yo, kiss us. You know what I mean? I'm going through with the bizzle. I ain't gonna lizard. My kiss aches on the lizard. I said, what? Because we had never talked like this before. So when he called home talking about his kiss aches was on the lizard, I said, the kiss aches on the
That's another story. Listen, that's another story. But I'm gonna tell you something I never told you. The scariest time of my life. I come from the yard, right? And there was a pack of Swiss rolls and some soups on my bed. I was like, oh shit, somebody want everything from me. They want my goods. I'm like, so now I'm scared. Listen. I go to the cell. Listen.
Wait, hold on. So you mean to tell me, because we need to get this right for all the youngins. So you mean to tell me when you in the state penitentiary, this ain't no county shit. This ain't no I'm waiting to get sentenced. This is I'm already sentenced and I got my time. So when you in jail, if you get to your cell and the Swiss roll and what?
Swiss rolls and soup.
And soups, if that's just laying on your bed and you didn't order them in commissary, somebody just put that on your bed, what does that mean?
It can mean multiple things, but I'm going to tell you what it meant for me. I thought I went right in the cell, I locked the door, I threw the sheet up, and I prayed to every God that existed. That this wasn't my time, and my act would be right when I leave. I was just like, I didn't know what was going on. I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to be like, because you don't know who comes. So when I grabbed the shit, I'm like, I got the sheet up. So I'm thinking, I don't want nobody to see me panic, because in jail, it's just like Instagram. You got to have a tough face. You're not back. Just like dudes be on Instagram. Everybody's tough. Everybody's a killer. Okay, right. Cool. Right? So in jail, I'm like, I'm not going to let nobody see me sweat. I got my game face. So I threw the sheet up immediately. Oh, shit.
Did you eat the Swiss rolls?
No. Hold on. Listen. This was crazy about it. This how I knew shit was dangerous. Because I'm like, man. And then I hear my man called me, Kevin, yo, follow. So before I go pull the sheet down, because he was downstairs, I was on the top chair. I had to look in the mirror, make sure, splash my face, make sure all panic and fear was off my face. I'm like, oh, let me make sure I'm okay. Hold up, bro. I had to joke. Yo, what's up, bro? You cool? What's going on? Yo, I put the stuff you gave me last week on your bed. I'm like, oh, okay, I got that. Listen. I threw that Kurt back. Oh my God. Listen, man. I was ready to take lock up and everything. I didn't know what I was ready to do.
So hold on. So you thought somebody was coming for your innocence?
Listen, you know why? Because I was at Dallas. They call Dallas the Pink Palace. I seen dudes laying out in the yard, man. I seen dudes getting married in the yard. Straight up. Anybody know? Pennsylvania, they call Dallas. They got the most homosexuals. I was scared to death.
They call Dallas the Pink Palace.
Yeah. Because it was a joint with heavily homosexual. So I'm like, listen. Listen. The first time I went to the shower, right? I go down in the shower. Come on, man. I'm serious, man. This shit was real, man. You don't know what I've been through.
So y'all was
insane. Like people be like, when you be out here shooting people and all that stuff, and you ride in the hood and you putting that work in. Mm-hmm. You don't know who been sitting in jail for a long time, who family members you put work in. Mm-hmm. So you don't know, Kev that been in jail for 25 years and that's his nephew. Mm-hmm. So when you coming through, you with your home, hold their head for a minute. They hold their head for about 10 minutes and they let out the scream. You don't hear the scream till about a minute within the scream. You just hear them. It's a whole different game. And shit like that. You be walking the track. Me, I'm scared. I was scared for, oh shit, man, I gotta keep being a good person. I'm glad I ain't do nothing to nobody. I'm walking the track like, oh shit, this shit is real. Straight up. Like
DJ Craig B was good.
Listen, and their hand is open right up.
Wait, hold on. Gotta keep being a good person.
You gotta mind your business. So I'm just like, it's just like, it's like, that shit ain't cool. And but like times, a lot of dudes that talk about, I do time, we do, they talking about their homies or their brothers or their cousins that did jail time. They ain't talking about no jail time. Do this stuff. You see what I'm saying? So my thing to kids is like, these cats, He come into my cell, all he had was a box and a typewriter. And all he used to do was law work. And he used to do these crossword puzzles all the time on the top bunk. And one day, I walked in the cell from the yard, and he was like, "How many minutes, youngin'? How many minutes was it?" I ain't paying no attention. He was doing life. But you would never think he was doing life because he was just a solid OG, just mind his business. And I said, "Minutes? I'm at the sink washing my hands. I'm just coming from the yard." He said, "How many minutes, man?" I said, "I give you probably like,
Nah,
I give you like 3, 4. I said, "Minutes for what?" I don't know what the fuck. It's an OG. I don't know what he talking about, but his sound is coming off deep. He said, "How many minutes did it take?" You know what I mean? For you to get, get your residency here. I said, "What you mean, man? Fucking residency." He said, How many minutes did you take to earn this to stay? You stay. What you talking about? Minutes. So he said, you got your law? See, I got my law work. I'm like, He said, "Let me show you something. So I go. He said, "Where your case?" I show him my case. He said, "Okay. You see these two?" He said, "This the police report, and this the police report." Took both of my police reports, and he said, "Okay. You robbed the joint at this time. They say you was in there for that long. Or you robbed this joint for this time. They say you was in there that long." He said, "That's like, each of them is like 2.5. Altogether, that's like 5 minutes, man." He said, 5 minutes got you 20 years in prison? He said, 5 minutes. Because you got a lot of dudes out there.
Wild ass person. But, no. Alpo, was killed. And he's known, if you know the...
Well, Alpo's my homeboy, so I'm just keeping 100. I mean, they ain't
Yeah, I want to watch that too. But he was the dude that's supposed to have turned. Well, he did. He turned states on other people that was hustling, that was in the street, to get his sentence reduced, and he was released. I believe earlier this year, and he was killed the morning of Halloween, like 3 a.m, shot in his truck. I got the interview I want to listen to, and a couple clips I want to watch, and we can get into the discussion because I do have to make my PowerPoint for my debate. So, and at your own risk. Appreciate it, yeah. So, I guess we can watch this right quick.
Welcome back to another video with IDN TV. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe with the bell notifications on. If you're a returning member of IDN community, make sure you hit the like button. Let's get right into it. Oh yeah, make sure you use the timestamps in the description and in the comments below. That way you don't waste time. You get exactly where you want to go in a particular video. You don't waste any time. Now let's get back into the news. Now we have part 2 of Alpo Martinez. Now, a lot of people in the comments were asking,
went to part 1.
Why is Alpo so big? Why is the culture really following this whole story? Now, long story long, Alpo was one of the biggest kingpins in Harlem, New York to this day. Now, what makes it interesting is he was really about that life. He's on paper responsible for over 14 people passing away, and that's just on paper. Now, here is a small background of Alpo according to the government. Now, he was arrested November 7th, 1990. Now, he faced drug charges and 14 counts of somebody passing away, including DeMarco Benio. I do apologize if I'm saying that name incorrectly, but Mano actually posted this picture the night of the news of Alpo passing away. Now, if you put 2 and 2 together, I guess the guy was from New York or Brooklyn. Mano's from that area. So he's saying, "Happy Halloween. I know you're smiling down right now." So you put 2 and 2 together. Mano was saying that he was responsible for this guy's passing. Now, according to the government and according to the reports, they're saying that Alpo snitched on members of his own organization, including Wayne Perry, who was sentenced to 5 consecutive years without the possibility of parole. Now, on one hand, Alpo being notorious in the streets of really about that life. You can't do anything or say anything out of pocket to him. He snitched on, his crew. He snitched on people in DC. So it was kind of like an oxymoron. Like a lot of people were saying, you can't really say nothing to him, but he's not living by the code. Meek Mill also, after the news coming out, said this about Alpo. He spoke in, Meek Mill, he pretty much speaks in code. And he put this on his Twitter. He says, y'all snakes dying out with the jewels. Now he posted this October 31st at 6:36 p.m. So like I said, Alpo was officially labeled and announced around 3 o'clock that morning. So he had time to put two and two together. Now it was rumored that Alpo was currently dating Diddy's baby mama, and she was one of the people that were trying to get Alpo a deal, just a documentary about his life.
I don't know if you can tell, but it was definitely getting that bag. And remember, this was back in the day. And at least I wonder how dudes really got that plug, because you can't really get that plug unless you dealing with the police. Like we all saw the Contra wars and all of that shit about how drugs got into the black community. So to me, a lot of these dudes that was, like where I'm from, Gary's a small city. You're not riding around in a new car with the newest paint job, with the newest rims, off of dope money, and the police don't know about it. You're not low at all. So to me, a lot of the time, it's the politician that's selling the drugs and the police that's protecting the drug trade. So, for 15-year-olds, these dudes was 15, 16. And making a lot of money. And they're dumb. Of course, they're stupid. So, they're not low. Shout out to Northern Bill. Nichols Pickles in the building. Lamarion DeHaan. Shout out to you. I was surprised he shared paperwork associated with his case with his roommate. To my knowledge, you're not supposed to do that inside. No, you got to show that paperwork. You come in, a lot of people going to want to see that paperwork to make sure you're not a snitch. You know what I'm saying? So, other than that, nah, you ain't got to show nobody your paperwork. I ain't never heard it being a no. You know what I'm saying? Unless you like, paranoid motherfuckers might try to act like they got some inside information on your case. Talk to them people about you, make some shit up. See if it's still, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, I know when people came in there on the questionable events, it was like, yeah, let us see y'all that paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Or a motherfucker coming there like, man, these motherfuckers snitched on me and show us paperwork. Because they gonna have that information about who telling in that discovery. So yeah, they walk around with them big, and like I said, New York, it's kind of fast paced. You catch on more. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just it. It's like I think you maintain your innocence a little bit more, toward the middle. But it flattens out. It all flattens out. It don't matter if you catch on when you're 9 or if you're 15. By the time you're 17, yeah. So shout out to Scar Beauty. So yeah, the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't believe that the police was that slow on the drug trade. I just think, like shit is legal. Shit is illegally legal. Shit is illegally legal. So I don't understand. I do not understand. But I definitely got. Oh, that shit wouldn't load up for nothing. I didn't know what was going on. So, let's just add into my little conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tamika C, man. Shout out to the fam bam. Shout out to Chris Flenoy. I saw your video, man. And DJ Craig B, I think I said that already, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. My pops, is the same age as Alpo and they grew up in the same neighborhood. That's hard. That's hard. Let me get this in.
On his own terms. A lot of people created documentaries about him. A lot of people talked to the people that knew him, but he wanted to create his own. And they're saying that the script was already written and is going to be released or pitched to Netflix. So I think with this passing, is definitely going to get accepted by the networks that were probably iffy about it, but definitely is going to come out now. Now I know you guys want to get to the nitty gritty. Now they're saying that the reason that Alpo wasn't officially announced on the internet was because he had a different name. Now, he had a different name because he was in witness protection. Now, if you guys don't know anything about witness protection, it's pretty much for the informants that leave the prison and they want to be identified a little bit better life, especially high-profile cases when you snitched on a lot of people. Now, they were saying Alpo's ID said Abraham Rodriguez. Now, that was the reason that it took so long to confirm because they didn't know his alias name. Now, they were saying that he was living in Maine, and the address was 160 College Street. Now, the witness protection can give you all the addresses and all the aliases that you want, but it seems like Alpo was definitely not worried about changing his aliases. As you can see, the video I posted before, it showed him riding his motorcycle, it showed him connecting with the people in Harlem.
Spinny, peace. A's off, peace. Yeah, that's the dude that Cameron
And
played.
here
in the
is an
movie Paid in
exclusive
Full.
picture. Now, this picture is of Alpo last night, right before he got in that 2017 Dodge Ram, and it shows him he's dressed up for Halloween. Looks like he has a Louis Vuitton face mask, a leather face mask with the jacket, and the lemon pepper steppers. A lot of people call them lemon pepper steppers, but he was definitely
Bingo
fly.
in the building. What's
but this
good,
was the
big
last
bro?
picture of Alpo. Unfortunately, you guys check it out. Now,
No,
it's
not
so
the.
similar. I feel like this whole witness protection and this whole
This is the real story of Paid in Full. Remember Paid in Full, the movie? I think it just played the trailer, but yeah, Paid in Full, the movie. Is that it? Yeah, the Paid in Full movie. You know, Rico, Mitch, and Ace. Yeah, it's AZ, Rich, and Alpo. He should have stayed in Maine. He asked for that shit. You win some, you lose some. Yeah. Say we don't need another Paid in Full. Yeah. Well, that's how he was moving around Harlem for a reason. Let's see what happens next. So
internet and just the whole scheme of people being on the internet, I feel like this is going to be the same thing. Unfortunately, that's going to get up with 6ix9ine. Now, everybody would think that Alpo passed away because of what he did to someone before. But at the end of the day, maybe somebody, you got to think, like they said, they were accusing him of 14 bodies on paper. Imagine the people, imagine the family.
Like 14 murders. 14 murders. Like, talk about it. Hold on.
Families that were affected.
Talk about it. And then not even the drugs, like 14 murders. We're not even talking about distribution of drugs. You know what I'm saying? A gang of stuff I can imagine. A gang of stuff I can imagine. Like, this is crazy. And he was, I guess you could say, the closest thing. You know how I say, when you watch Cocaine Cowboys, And you see all them white people in their yards talking about, yeah, I sold this many drugs and, this, that, and flew back and forth to Colombia. And I'm like, damn, like he was that. He was the one who did it, got out, sat back and talked about it. Like, yeah, this is why I killed dude at. Like I said, this was the 80s and 90s. To a lot of us, this was an innocent time. Especially to an old, young, Midwestern boy like myself. This was an innocent time. The 80s and the 90s. Not so much the 90s, but the 80s, And I'm talking about 15, 16-year-olds. Went in, served his time, turned states for reduction, got out, and was still being him. It's, the narcissistic mind state. Like, you know what I'm saying? People like him, they'll do anything for the attention. It gotta be me. You gotta look at me. It's just not, the friends I got just ain't enough. The girls I got just ain't enough. The attention I got just ain't enough. So, shout out to Love My Fro. He said he's snitching on himself. He got what he asked for. Yeah. Yeah. And he's gonna be a Harlem legend. He's the biggest Harlem legend. He's the biggest Harlem legend. He might be the biggest. It's hard to say that. It's hard to say that. But he's definitely a Harlem legend. He's definitely a Harlem legend. Drug kingpin. He did it all. Shout out to Psychopathia. Make sure y'all subscribe. We say bragging when there was losses on all sides. Yes, sure. Yes, sure. You say, no way, Apple is not the biggest Harlem legend. Yeah, I can't say that. I can't say it yet. I can say it. Fuck it, I'm going to say it. Alpo is the biggest Harlem legend. Man. Alpo is the biggest Harlem legend. I may not all the way believe it, but I can say it, and it's an argument. It's an argument. Especially after him being killed the way he was killed. Times Square was still 40 dudes before Disney. Hell up in Harlem, gangsters, pimp, prostitutes, and heavy drug gang. Rappers on the rise. I thought Rick Ross, not the rapper, was the real legend. I mean, he's a West Coast legend, but he's a yeah, wasn't he? But I think Rick Ross made more money than him because he was dealing straight with that. Because he was dealing straight with the law, And I believe Rick Ross made more money than him. But he was more famous and popular. And that's the reason why I'll say he's bigger than Frank Lucas. Because Frank Lucas made more money than him. But Frank Lucas was not popular. Alpo, and it might have something to do with technology. Well, it got something to do with technology. But he was popularized contemporarily. He made his bag. He committed his murders. He sold his keys. He did some time. He even snitched, got out, still balled out, and got murdered. That's bigger than Frank Lucas. He said Cab Calloway. The biggest that never got until now. Michael Meggs, Dapper Dan. Yeah, Von Zip was a real legend. Von Zip, never heard of him. Never heard of him. All important on the East Coast, right? Like the East Coast don't need the rest of the United States. They're famous without themselves. But once you get the Midwest, down south, and the West Coast, it shows there is a difference in just being Harlem famous or East Coast famous. You know, I'm famous up north in the East Coast. I know y'all like to celebrate and party by yourself and act like the rest of the United States don't matter, but a lot of us didn't know about Frank Lucas. Nicky Barnes, you know. But guess what? Motherfuckers knew about Alpo. Paid in full. Paid in full, did it, and they was able to look up and still see him. Oh, that's Alpo right there.
Affected by it, and they know that Alpo did it. People fail to realize he had a good run in the 80s. From the beginning of the 90s, he served 25 years. So he got out in 2015. 2015 to 2021 is about 6 years. It could have been somebody catching up with him from prior history, or it could be new people. But at the end of the day, everybody's saying, you know, he messed up a lot of families. He broke up homes and things like that. So a lot of people are celebrating Alpo passing, but it is what it is. I want to say something about this actual scene. Now, it looks like Alpo or whoever ran up on homie, they knew what they were doing. They weren't nervous. Now, I want to say this. I feel like the grouping of the actual, you know what I'm trying to say, the grouping is very close. That means that this person that actually did it was not nervous and they're trained, especially inside of a car. So it's making me think somebody actually walked up and did it. From a car, a Dodge Ram sitting up, it wouldn't make sense for it to be that grouping so good. Well, who knows? But my honest opinion, I feel like somebody walked up and they wasn't afraid to be caught. They wasn't afraid for somebody to see them, and they wanted to get him out of the way. Now, they did have a video. It shows a guy outside of the club. I don't know if he was actually there, so I want to give you guys a discretion. Now, he's hearing 4 actual shells being let off. In Alpo's car is 5. Now, the rumor is saying that it was 4 at this particular location, and then Alpo actually tried to escape and go to the precinct. They said another shell was discovered around the precinct area. So 4 plus 1 equals 5. He has 5 holes in his window. So you guys check it out. So let me know how you think about this. Do you think this was a coincidence? I mean, honestly, I highly doubt it. Halloween, this guy's out, Alpo's out. Unfortunately, he tried to drive. Either he was trying to drive to get help, or he was trying to drive to get him off. But maybe that last actual shell was the result of him passing away. So yeah, in the grand scheme of things, man, Alpo lived a great life for about 5 to 7 years. Like I said, in the 80s, he was popping. And then in the 90s, he served 25 years. And then when he got out, he had 6 years. And I'm sure he wasn't making the money that he was making in the 80s. So
The Alpo was the dude that Cameron played and paid in full. The Rico dude.
If anybody's listening to this, anybody got kids, anybody that's pursuing or thinking this is cool or cute, you could trade 30 years in federal prison, state prison, and come home and ball for 5. Or you can stay on the streets.
So, yeah. I didn't see, oh, that's probably what he was talking about. But he has an interview, you know, while he was in jail. And let me see if I can find that without any more. And he did a documentary. I think this might be the trailer for it.
Maybe I'm a criminal. Maybe I'm just like the world. Maybe I ain't good at all. Cause the streets done stole.
Yeah, I don't know who got rights to that song. But yeah, I think this is the documentary. He did a documentary. Went back through so I never heard of this man before he died. Yeah. I mean, you ain't never seen the movie Paid in Full? You never seen the movie Paid in Full? Because you heard of this man, you just didn't know you heard of this man. But if you watched the movie Paid in Full, then you watched
stuff we've been talking about.
with each other for 15 years. But Troy Reed, we're gonna have some conversation about some stuff we've been talking about with each other for 15 years in prison, and now we get to talk about it. I get to talk about it as a free man.
Ain't no wrong with it. I mean, it wasn't a gang. It wasn't like they was a gang. They just were like 3 drug dealers. They was 3 drug dealers that was doing their own thing, you know. Was partners, was friends, you know, was getting money together. And, I don't really know how the story go about how AZ and Rich got together.
Got into the van. He got into the van right here. And once he got into the van, I knew I had to lock. I locked the doors. And as I was pulling off, I was asking him, because it didn't take long after I pulled off. I was asking him like, "Yo, Rich, where did you get that coat from, man? That shit was good." Because I wanted to make him comfortable. That shit was good as a motherfucker. He's like, "I got it from my connect." So yeah. So from there, I knew he was lying. I turned to my little man. I gave him the nod. Once I gave him the nod, my little man spent, because he was short, so he could stand up in the van. Next thing you heard was the 2 gunshots. Bang, bang. Richard slumped over. And it happened. It happened right here. It happened right here. At this light. At this light, it happened. I'm saying, in my mind, I'm saying to my little man, yo, he's dead. He's done it. He just got hit with a 357. Twice. The only sound I heard was, him releasing his breath. His last breath. So I'm assuming that he's dead. And I need to find a place to put his, leave his body without anyone seeing me and seeing the van or just, so the only place I can think of and just driving it, and it's just so funny. I'm saying City Island, but I'm not even sure if I wanted City Island, but I just knew I wanted to get off the streets and get onto a highway.
How did you feel? Was you mad? Was you angry? Like, what was going on in your head?
I was very mad. I just killed a nigga that I loved, a nigga that I was getting money with, a nigga that I called my brother. We kept driving this way, and until I can find a remote spot to leave the body. Go around this turn right here. Yeah, loop it real quick. It was somewhere over here. So I pulled over like right here, just threw the van up on as close as I can to the rail. Once I pulled over, my little man, Gary's probably like 5'3", 1 something. So I'm trying to stay behind this. I'm trying to stay behind the steering wheel. I'm trying to stay in the driver's seat just in case we got to pull off, and have him go dump the body. But when he went to go try to get Rich out the car, he couldn't pick him up. He couldn't pick him up. Rich was bigger than him, so he couldn't move him to put him in the woods and all that. So now I had to get out the van to go help him. And when I went to go help him, Richard made a sound. So that shit startled me. Oh shit, he's still alive. So I grabbed the gun. I grabbed the gun from my little man and put one in his head. And then I had to pick him up. And dump him in the woods and leave his body. I was able to, get him where he needed to be. And then we jumped back in the van, and I made sure I didn't skid off or anything like that to leave any kind of tracks. And we left. And the rest was the newspapers. The rest was history.
When Richard was when that would happen to Richard, I don't understand that thing.
So yeah, like the dude actually got out. and had fucking ran down the story. Or what the fuck was going on? Ran down the story, or what the fuck was going on? So, let me see.
MREC TV.
This now. Huh? Listen, I was out for this now. God damn. Alpo outside. Alpo outside.
We outside today, huh?
Alpo outside.
Today, huh?
Fuck them niggas' heads up, dog. Fuck them niggas' heads up. Niggas went to jail, came out, talked this shit. Talked this shit. This AZ, this the dude right here. This is Ace, the one that worked in the laundromat. That's him. I wonder if, well, that look like that's the only one that got it, and it got a sound mark. So this may be.
I met the kid AZ.
Produced by Contracts Productions.
This is when I
for
met
Feds
AZ. I wanted to step to him.
Magazine.
I found out who he was, and I stepped to him because I heard he was young.
Nah, it was. Shout out to I Smoke Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? But it might be the one that's at the top. I don't know. Let's see.
I met the kid AZ.
Produced by Contracts
This
Productions
is when I
for
met
Feds
AZ. I wanted to step to
Magazine.
him. I found out who he was, and I stepped to him because I heard he was the young cat up there getting it. So I want to step to him and talk to him like, yo, this is who I am. But like I said, like I told you earlier, I didn't have no problem. That's right. With asking people for some work and, you know, put me down. Right. I want to step to him. He's like, yo, come see me.
Hey,
I heard
I'm
about
sorry
you.
to hear that, Sally, man. Rest in peace for your son, man. Strength to the family,
You know, so I said, all right. And this is when he had 145th Street.
Right, it's him in jail serving his time. He didn't already did everything he didn't did. We can talk about it. As John said, this is sad how my son has to grow up around stuff like that, and I'm trying to prevent that. Does that make me a bad mother? Be trying to prevent these types of activities y'all love to glorify. It depends on how you try to avoid them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, intention is one thing, but action is another. You know, you got to make sure they both line up. You know, your intention has to be good, the actions have to be good. You know, like if I go around and I kill all the drug dealers to prevent drugs being sold in my neighborhood, you know, am I wrong for that? You know, there's so many videos about him as if he was a former president or something. Well, like Tanjan just said, you know, people glorify the lifestyle. It's a life. It's a truth that motherfuckers live. You know, and I mean, the man went to jail and the man got murdered. He paid the price. And people get mad when the women are saying there are better ways of living life, and the life that y'all chose got nothing to do with the white man. Man, that's kind of looting conversations to me. You know, street legends matter more to some. I'm not glorified. Yeah, so the dude that did all this dumbass shit, man, end up in jail. He getting interviewed, and so he's at liberty to speak about it all. He's doing his time. Got his numbers. Got his out date.
Say, I'm the 146.78, the jukebox. You know, and AZ was young, and AZ was getting it. He was getting it. He was the young kid busting out with the Audis, and this is when they had the Audi. This is when the Audi 4000s was popular. So he wound up. You know, I didn't see him no more. I was waiting for him to get back to me, but I was still doing my thing. I was eating. You know, I wound up stepping the A at that time. I remember it was on 139th Street and 7th Avenue over there by the Wendy. They used to have the games on Lennox Avenue. So I went there, I asked him this and that, and I knew what he was into. And I told him, I said, yo, I'm on the east side, because I started hustling around my mother's way again, too. So I said, yo, I'm on the east side. Can you give me some bottles?
Still hustling around his mama house. I was hustling around my mama's side of things, you know? And I believe his mother is passed also. Let's see. I could have sworn. Now, of course, the internet is flooded with, you know. But yeah, Lisa, what are you doing?
You know, so I looked at the bottles for $10 and all that. I said, yo, can you give me some bottles? All right. This was the powder thing. No crack. This was the powder thing. So he was kind of reluctant at first. He didn't really, but he told me to get back with him. So, you know, you tell me that, I'm going to get back with you. So I got back with him. One thing led to another. I wound up getting bottles from him, and he wound up hitting me. Okay. He wound up hitting me, and I took him to the east side, and I was doing a little something over there. I was eating. So I started doing a little something. I was flipping the bottles. It wasn't what I was used to, but my brother he was grinding. He was doing his thing, waiting for opportunity again. So I kept on coming back at him. He was like, damn, you flipping these like that? I said, yo, I'm doing all right. But, I had money saved up, so even if I wasn't flipping it, I was just taking the money out of my stash and paying him to have him believe that I was flipping it like that.
So, people get fronted. You know what I'm saying? That's how they used to do the drugs. They would. AZ knew Rich long before he knew Alberto. Yeah. So in order to impress him, he would just go somewhere for a couple hours, bring back the money that he already had in his pocket. Like, I sold that shit, nigga. I need more. The motherfuckers be like, damn, how this nigga sell that shit like that? That nigga just sold, you know what I'm saying? His N brought us our 5 back. And then, or whatever amount back.
So I wound up stepping to him, telling him, like, yo, man, I got a little store over there I'm trying to get. We can go half on it, whatever. And we could do something. So he was like, yo, all right. So he said, yo, go ahead and get the store, and I got you. So I went up and I got the store, whatever. Gave him like 10,000 or something like that. And I had the little store over there for a little while. But the east side, it wasn't really like the west side. It was cool, but the money wasn't there like that around there. They wasn't used to spending $10 on some coke and all that around there. So it was all right. So that wasn't really coming fast enough for me. So I stepped to him again. I said, yo, man. Put me down with you, man. Let me be a part of your crew. This day I stepped to him. He had the jukebox for it, but he was starting something new on 34th Street between 7th and Lennox. Okay. He was starting a new spot over there. And I stepped to him. I was like, yo, man, let me be down with you. And this day I stepped to him. Some dudes had shot at him or stepped to him about something.
And it was, hold on. Because it was a part that had the story before that in there. It may have been. store. It may have been. Okay, I'll get it done.
Okay. Now this is how I got. This is how I got in with A. This is how I really became like down with him. Because the other thing, I was just getting hit from him. But this is how I became down with him. I stepped him on 34th Street. It was at night, and he had a couple of his little. I'm not even gonna call them soldiers. He had a couple of his little workers around him and all that. And some dudes had shot at him or tried to stick them up or something. And he was telling me this, and he was getting frustrated. And I was like, yeah, whatever. He was upset about it. So I was like, yo, what you gonna do? And he was like, yo, we gonna go find them cats. We gonna this, that. I said, well, bet. I said, just give me 15, 20 minutes. I gotta shoot back to the east side, get my guns, and I'm back over here. So I do all that. Everybody do their thing. His little workers, they go get whatever little guns they got, wherever they got them at. That's why I was the only one that came back. Me and another person, came back, and I'm the only one that came back, and like another guy. So I came back with 2 guns blazing. I said, well, let's go do this, man. Okay. So we wound up looking for the dudes, and we wound up finding them, and we wound up finding one of them, and we wound up busting him down in order, but he got into his building or whatever, so we couldn't get to him in order, but we wound up letting them know, like, yo, we busting our guns too. Productions. And we was trying to kill this kid. And that's how I got in. He took a liking to that and put me down with him. So now I'm running with him. After that day, I'm down with him as one of his soldiers. Okay. I'm there. I'm working. So I see opportunity. So I said, okay, this is where I need to be. This is where I need to be. This is who I need to work with. This is who I need to impress. This is who I need to get up under. So I ain't got no problem with that, man. I know how to grind. I started from the bottom. So I wound up getting with him, and I truly have to say and give on to AZ. When I met A, I've never looked back. I'm going to give him that. Definitely everything I've achieved as far as in the game and this and that was definitely because of A. So now we're in 34th Street, we 45th Street, and I'm down with him, and I'm doing all the dirty work. I'm taking care of, the dudes is, I don't know if you remember this kid named Travis, he had put this kid Travis down with him. The kid Travis was slipping his own bottles up in the spot, and AZ knew. One thing about A, he knew his work, man. He knew what he should get, what he shouldn't get. Produced by Contrast Productions. A he's also used to send people to go buy his stuff to see if it was being switched. And we found out that this kid Travis was switching up the bottles. So make a long story short with that, we wound up beating the kid.
So motherfuckers was sitting in the spot, right? Because they would have you working in the spot, and they'd give you the bottles to sell. Well, this motherfucker had his own pack of drugs. So, they'd give him $50,000 worth of drugs. He'd have his own 10,000. Come back. That he made how much money we made? Oh, 10,000, because he just sold his 10,000, sold 10,000 it is. You know what I'm saying? And put his money up. So it's like, like $20,000 worth of money came through that. And on the other side, he didn't send somebody in there to get some drugs and come back out. It's different bottles. Like that thing is selling his own shit.
Travis down. Who want to beat the kid down? Me. I want to beat the kid Travis down, trying to throw him out the second floor window. Because he robbing from my man A. Right. And I got to let you know you can't do this. So I tried to throw the kid out the window and all that, and we didn't succeed. I was trying to tie his neck up. I was trying to tie this joint around his neck and throw him out the window and let him hang. Okay. So we didn't succeed, so we wound up beating him down and all that. So we got rid of him. So that was that. And I used to be the person that AZ used to put me through he used to test me a lot of little times. He used to, he would give me a certain amount of bricks or whatever and tell me, go bottle them up. I was getting in positions like that where he was trusting me with the work and telling me to go bottle it up.
You were actually bottling up whole bricks?
Huh?
Whole bricks?
Yeah, whole bricks. Yeah, A didn't play that. A didn't play bottle up this. You had to bottle up the whole brick. Because the spot, not just 34th, but 45th Street was moving so quickly at times. It was doing 2-3 bricks a day.
How much was that bottled up?
Bottled up, that was probably about, one brick was probably seeing 40,000-50,000 for one brick. So that was a lot lot of bottles. So I used to take it to my mother's house sometimes, bottle it up. You know, saying that's when I was still with Mama. You know, I used to go back to Mama Duke's house and all that. And I used
Like, all this money you making, and you still at your mama house trying to bag up some drugs. Then tried to throw him out. Because he, like I said, he the narcissistic type. So he's going to overdo shit. Black Power, something right. Even though it's like, you know, yeah, there's some fucked up shit. All right, dude, you know, we in the drug trade. I got dude in the spot. Dude selling his own shit. You trying to get close to me so you will whoop his ass. Then you'll do something like damn they kill him, which is just bringing more heat, you know? Which is the thing that they were showing in the movie a lot of the times. Like, yo, you doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And he like, no, you got to let these motherfuckers know. And woo, 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 woo. Yeah. And I never got that neither. Like, mom's still in the hood. Like, I think that's the first thing you're supposed to do, man. Like, grab your people and throw them out the hood right quick. Get them up out of there right quick.
do my thing there. I had other little apartments that I used to do. So he used to hit me with the bricks, say, yo, follow this up, call me when you finish. Or he would come. So like I said, he was trusting me with the work, and I was, I was working my way in position. So I was always with him, you know what I mean, doing my thing and all that. We started getting real popular as far as people started saying, like, yo, them kids is getting
Contracts Productions.
Yeah, them kids is getting it because they seen AZ had the Audis and the little Benzes and all that, and this car, that car. And then, you know, so they started hearing about it. They said, yo, that jukebox is getting money. And people started seeing the lines and this and that. I mean, it was ridiculous. Again, it was ridiculous. Like, we used to tell customers, yo, wait on the other side. And that's how come you had to bottle up everything once we got it, because you could never give it a time when he was going to wait. You couldn't have the customers waiting too long. You had to always be ready for them. I mean, they was coming like that. You figure we was giving up almost close to half a gram, $10. No cut, straight raw.
Produced by Contracts
No cut,
Productions.
no chaser. Straight off the brick into the bottle. Coming straight off the brick into the bottles, man. And we was bottling it up. And like I said, he used to put me through Livingston. But I seen the bigger picture, so there was no reason for me. And I wasn't trifling like that, where I had to stash bottles and this and that. I was happy.
Right.
You know, he was treating me good. I was happy in my position. I seen the bigger picture.
Right.
So there was no reason for me to be petty like that, because he wasn't petty with me.
Right.
A was a good dude, man. I mean, A was a good dude. Not until now that I've seen the pettiness, but back then he was a good dude, and he was allowing me to eat. So that was that, and so now the jukebox gets real popular. So now the stick-up kids come out. The stick-up kids started to come out. You know what I mean? They started to come out, and they robbed the spot. They hit the spot a couple of times.
Okay.
They hit the spot a couple of times, so that was really becoming a concern of AZ's. He was really getting frustrated that they kept on coming.
Feds Magazine.
So that was becoming a concern for AZ.
Yeah, that was becoming a big concern. That was becoming a concern for AZ, because he wasn't really used to dealing with that, and they used to come in and close the gate and just rob everything that was in there. You know, take the bottles, the money, and nobody never got killed when they used to come stick us up. So I stepped, hey, like, yo, hey, we got to put a stop to this. And, you know, I'm quickly thinking murder. We gotta put the murder game down. So we wound up finding out who's setting it up. So we wound up snatching one kid up and throwing him in a van and making him tell us who the other stick-up kids were.
Nah, he admitting this shit. We done grabbed this dude, threw him in the van because our spot's getting robbed.
So he wound up doing that, and we didn't kill him that day. We didn't kill him that day, and I was basically ahead.
We didn't kill him that day. You know, that's later on. But let me tell you about this.
I was basically in charge of this mission. Because I was putting it down like that. So I wound up recruiting two dudes. I wound up recruiting two other dudes, and we took care of the situation.
Productions.
We the ones who were sticking up, the ones who we caught up to, they got it. The ones who we didn't, they either in jail or they never came back again once they seen that their friends was falling.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, once they said their friends was falling, and locations that the bodies was, a couple of bodies fell on like 145th Street and 8th Avenue.
You got charged with a few bodies over there?
Oh, well, we get to that. Okay. Yeah, we get to that. So we took care of it, and the stick up thing stopped. After that, of course, the stick up kids, they stopped coming, and but AZ was really concerned because it was like getting out of hand. He kind of felt it was getting out of hand, and he felt that this just not worth it to me no more, and so that's when he started to really put more focus on 34th Street. Okay. You understand? Mm-hmm. So where'd you take it from there? Okay, so he started to put more focus on 34th Street. So now he has to make a decision, like who is he going to? Because 45th Street is still getting money. It's not as much as when he first started, but it's still good money. So now, like I said, going back, AZ was putting focus on 34th Street now because he didn't really want to deal with the drama of 45th Street. So he had an apartment that we used to do things in Lenox Terrace, right across the street from the spot he was starting to build up on 34th Street. He called like a little semi-meeting amongst like his brother and the kid Stanley and all that, and he asked them like, do they want the spot? But they were so used to being, basically like spoon-fed that they wasn't ready to leave the nest. And A was like the nest and the comfort. They wasn't ready to leave from up under him. So they was like saying, no, we're going to stay down here with you, A, on 34th Street and start this new spot. And they was used to that. They liked that. Okay. And the kid Stanley was like, no, I don't want it, or too many problems up there. So when it came to me, I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So that was the day
by Contracts Productions
was doing his thing. So he said, all right, well, then it's yours, man. This is what you know what to do because you've been down a while now, so you know how to do it. You know this and that. So we had an agreement that he would see about 10, 15,000 off of every brick or something, like 10,000 off every brick. Because he was still giving me, I didn't have a connect yet. That's why give me bricks and all that. So and my money was funny. Okay. And now I know I got me a gold mine now because I still seen the gold mine and I was willing to protect it at any means necessary. Okay. And if it was taking somebody's life and killing somebody because they wanted to come take what I was doing, then so be it. Okay. So I knew I wasn't gonna really be up at the spot like that because I thought that was past that hanging. So what I did was I got with some
like he get it, right? It's time to step up. Hey, I got a spot up. A lot of motherfuckers like, man, I don't want that responsibility. And I guess he figured, well, shit, I got respect. I know how to get respect. I know I can find me some throwaways to sit in this goddamn spot and sell this shit while I, work my magic to try to get up to a bigger amount. Yeah, man. And it's kind of different because I've been so removed from anything like this for so long. It's like, and me, I'm the type of person I always say, like, real life is better than the made up shit. And the fact that it's real and it really happened, it connects to you. Like, something happening in the story of Peter Pan, like, it's an interesting story. But something happening in real life directly connects to you. Like, damn, we could do this. We could have witnessed this. Like, you're a part of history right now. So, the movie was cool. But the real story, I ain't gonna lie, it's a shaker for me. So the dudes recognize, hey, I got an opportunity to step up as a boss. Bam, give me the spot. And
I got with some kids from the area up there. Kid name was Jay. He was pretty known up around that area, so I knew. Because I'm saying to myself, as A is telling me he's gonna give me the spot, I'm saying to myself, okay, now I gotta put my own crew together and get a crew up in here because everybody else gonna want to go with A and hustle with A. That's right. So I gotta get my own crew together. So I was thinking about bringing some East Side dudes up there, but then I said, no, you gotta get some dudes from around the area to avoid problems. So the kid Kato introduced me to the kid Jay, so I met the kid Jay, and I was like, yo, this is what's happening. I got 45th, I got the jukebox. I'll put you down, and whoever else you put under you, that's on you. You know what I mean? That's your crew. But I'm just dealing with him. You follow me? I'm following. So my thing is with him. So AZ's giving me the coke, whatever, for a little while. So I'm just going along with it because it's gave me this, so it's only right that I make sure he sees some money out of it, and it's still almost like his spot, but I'm running it. Okay. So he's giving me the coke and all that, and I got the Kid J now. So what he's giving me, I'm hitting the Kid J. So give you an example. If AZ was paying like I think at the time 14 for a brick, he was charging me. If he was paying 14, 15, he was charging me 25 for the joint. I was giving it to the kid for 35 because it's my spot. To him, it's my spot. I'm paying for the bottles. I'm paying for every loss. I'm paying for the coke and all that. All you doing is making sure that the money's right and the work is getting put in there right. A getting his little 10, 12. I'm getting my little 10, 12. Then the kids, he's seeing his little 15 or whatever, and then he paying the crew and all that. That's all he got to do is pay the crew. Right. Well, how many ever do?
And that just show. It's just a victimizing thing. I make it okay. The plug is the plug. He throw the keys. He say, "Bring me," you know, and he's getting the keys. Shit, $5,000 a key. He say, "Give me bring me back 15,000." You sell them for 18. You know, that 3,000 a lot of money for you. To the people you ain't cool with, you know, you could give them to for 20, 22. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it. Don't give them to me for 15. I tell you, you know, well, he want 20. So I got to give for 22. 22, you give it to your shorty, 35. And motherfuckers really thinking some shit too, right? Like, just think about the dudes, the shorties that sitting in that, they getting paid, what, $100 a day? $100 a day? And they like, I'm getting $100 a day. I'm killing it. Other dude, you know, he walk away with his 8,000, 6 to 8,000. That they giving Wody his. And them niggas willing to die over that shit. And it's day after day after day after day after day after day after day. As sure as I sit here and pop. Shout out to L in the building. DJ Black Charm in the building. Y'all Daniel. Peace, peace, peace. Jasmine Henson, peace to you.
Dudes he got down with him. Right. So everybody's getting money. So this goes on for a little while. I save up enough money to start doing my own thing now, getting my own bricks. That's right. So I remember going with A couple of times to the Connect and all that. So I wound up seeing the Connect. So they still thinking AZ got something to do with 45th Street, and they used to come see him around there. So they come around there, and then they see me now. They're like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, no, what's up? What's up with y'all? You're trying to do something? One thing led to another. I wound up dealing with them. Okay. So now I step to A, and I'm like, yo, A, yo, this is what's happening, man. I saved up enough money. I'm starting to see Raymond. I'm starting to go see them and this and that. So his 34th Street is starting to pump too. So he's like, yo, whatever, man. You go ahead. That's your thing. So eventually I just fade him out. And he don't get no more money from 45th Street. Right. And he's cool with that because they wasn't greedy for money. So he's cool with his 34th Street thing because that's starting to do like a brick a day, a brick every 2 days. So 45th Street becomes all mine now. 45th Street is mine now. No one getting no money out of there but me and the Kid J. And so I got the Kid J now. The Kid J is good. He happy. He on. He's rolling. 40-50 to pick back up, because I'm getting, I'm seeing, I'm getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bricks now from the kids. So we flooding 40-50 again. It's back to where A had it at. But nothing good ever, nothing like that ever lasts forever. So people started opening up like crack spots around there. But if they was opening up crack spots, we didn't really care about that. As long as they wasn't opening up no powder coke thing type thing. Right. So one thing led to another. Little beef started coming. The money started getting kind of low. The Kid J started getting kind of conniving, and I say conniving as far as, I used to get a lot of little phone calls like, yo, because he used to have this kid down with him named Manny, so I used to get a lot of little phone calls like, yo, Manny had to jump out the cab, and he left 2 bricks in the cab. Police money. It's not really worth it to me no more up here. Right. So, in that whole thing, before the end to 45th Street for me, we gonna jump into to a Rich situation, okay? Okay. Me and Rich, like I said, when he came home after that year in prison, I think it was for a pistol. We hooked up. We became cool, real cool. You know, it was sort of, you know, the best way to put it that I was filling that spot that LA had left. Okay. Because it was Rich in LA. Anybody you asked, it was all about Rich in LA back in the 80s and all that.
Okay, now what'd you say?
I said I was filling that spot. Basically, if you really looked at it, people who knew about Rich in LA, I was filling that spot that LA had left because he got killed.
How did he get killed?
LA got killed outside of the rooftop. He got shot up outside of the rooftop. This when the rooftop was real popular, like '85. Again, me and Rich's relationship became real strong, man. We became like the best of buddies and all that. I mean,
it's a contract production for Feds Magazine.
Listen to him. Hey, we became real strong. We was best of buddies, man. He said, yeah, that's why it's called a trap. I was addicted to trap and made my money and was still on the block with the ish. Like you don't. It don't go there. That's how I feel. You know, I couldn't imagine that shit. I think a lot of times these dudes can imagine that shit. You know, like we all know it. We all saw it. We all saw it. People kill people that they usually like they known for being cool with. They known for hanging with. But people say, I never saw it coming. But some people with that experience, man, they can look, they say, you know, they're turning each other over their money. The same thing that bring them together is what a divider. If it's not true friendship, you know, long as it's business, you can always find a reason. Fucking nigga over. Yeah. And a lot of people say you can't combine business with friendship. It's not true. You just can't be a cutthroat motherfucker. That's basically what people say. You can't fuck over your family. You know? Of course, it get twisted and people bring it back to make it feel comfortable for them. But
you really understand is that all three of us was doing our own thing. You know, we were all doing our own thing, but there wasn't no problem if A needed whatever kind of money, or if Rich needed, or if I needed. There wasn't no problem for me to come to these dudes and be like, yo, let me get that, man. I need that for something. So in Rich and I's friendship, you know, we used to like a lot of the same cars. You know, we was like some of the first young dudes to bust out with the convertible BMs, and all three of us were the ones who first came out when they switched over to the new Jeeps. Okay. We was the first ones with them. You know, me and A bust out with the 7.
Black and white?
Yeah, the 735s. Okay. I remember we bust out with them, and I.
Y'all pay cash?
Huh?
Y'all pay cash?
Oh, every car we had was cash.
Every car.
Oh, we had titles to everything. We didn't know nothing about finance. No, out of 50 cars, out of 50, 55 cars, only one was ever financed for me, and I was trying to build some credit for somebody. Okay. So yeah, we bust out with the 7s, and because A went and bought a black joint. Okay. So then I seen just man, I'm going to give me one too. So I like the black joint too. So when I came through 132nd Street with my black,
and then it just killed me just how in the open he is a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is crazy. But it's like, to me, you know, as a Midwest nigga, I look at it as an East Coast thing. Like, they're bold in their sin. They're bold in their crookedness. They're bold in their snaking. They're bold in their bullshit. They real bold in their bullshit. You know? To the point, you know, now, like, they say, oh, you got finesse. No, wait. You mean you're a thief? You know what I'm saying? A liar? Oh no, you got finesse. And he's one of the boldest. He's one of the boldest. He's one of the boldest. That's the way he even puts shit. Like, I saw him with the car. You see? I can't let him be the nigga with the truck. Oh, that nigga got the new black. Oh shit, Jeep. Oh, bad. Shout out to my nigga. Like, no, I'm finna go get one. We finna have one. We finna have one. 60% of the time, if it was stick up, best believe Brooklyn was behind it. Yeah. Pay attention to the manipulation. Shout out to Nico. Shout out to Nico. Shout out to Nico B. Spoken Word. Peace to you. Shout out to Pro Black. It's the league. Shout out to Mongo Slade. Yeah. That's what I, heard. Harlem is just one of them, one of them shiesty ass places. It's like if they know you ain't gonna kill him over, you ain't gonna kill me over, I'm gonna do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna kill me over. Because that's just it. Like, I can do whatever I want to whoever I want. Unless they'll kill me for it. Then I'm gonna respect them. I'm gonna try to be on their side. But other than that, if you ain't willing to go to jail for murder today, nigga, I'm pulling it. This nigga said, and it's another interview, in the other interview, dude saying, because it was something like everybody knew who the dudes was. Rich and not Rich. AZ Ace. AZ and Rich. Everybody knew who they was. And Alpo was one of them dudes that used to, approach him like, yo, let me get down. And he said one day he caught them going in to go cook or something. Say, yo, man, let me get down. Put me down with you. Shout out Nicole Judge. Peace to you. And he went upstairs. I thought, Rich. Rich was AZ. No, I thought Ace was AZ. Yeah, Rich Porter and AZ. Okay, yeah. So he said, put me down. They say, all right, man, hold on, let us handle something. They go upstairs. They up there for hours cooking, and then they notice, like, yo, dude's still down there. When they come back down, like, he sleep on his motorcycle. So they start fucking with him in. And then, he the type of nigga he want to prove himself. So he quick to jump in the beef and, let niggas know these my niggas, you can't fuck with them. They go get a car, he go cop the same car. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make motherfuckers, let motherfuckers know, no, we together. You know what I'm saying? It was Ace and AZ and Rich. That was AZ, Rich, and Alpo. Yeah. So he said he got close to the friend of the guy that had it. This is extreme manipulation. Yeah. Fact. Jump in there. And a lot of people look at that shady, this, that, and the other. That is business. Like, I'm not gonna be a work up under you forever. Like, at some point in time, you're gonna have to introduce me to the nigga you getting it from. He fronting you 60 keys. I want to be fronting 60 keys. I don't want to wait till you get fronted 60 keys and then you give me 10 and give me a price. Nah.
Hey, when I bought a black joint. Okay. So then I seen Johnson, man, I'm going to give me one too. So I like the black joint too. So when I came to 132nd Street with my black joint, he seen the joint. He pulled me over. He was like, yo, Paul, we both got black joints. We ain't,
You know what I'm saying? What make you go get the same truck as me, bro? You didn't even say, oh, yo, I fuck with that, man. You fresh, my nigga. You doing good. This nigga went and copped the same truck. It came through the same neighborhood. I'm like, yo, bro. What's going on? What's up, bro? What you doing, man? You just went and got the same truck I got, bro. What the fuck is you doing? Alpo like, nigga, we gonna be uniform, nigga. Same truck. You Gucci down, I'm Gucci down. You Louis down, I'm Louis down. Nigga, it's us.
Ain't no reason for
Produced by Contracts
it makes
Productions.
sense to what he said.
He's an anime sister, what he said. Ain't no shit.
So I didn't know, I didn't know he was going to get the black joint. Okay. But I already had ordered it, so I went and got out. And it didn't make no difference to me if he had a black joint, I had a black joint. I didn't really care. Okay. So anyway, being I feel A's my man. I said, okay, no problem. So I went back to the car dealer, gave the man a little extra $500. I said, yo, give me another color. Give me a white joint with some blue seats. He had a white joint with some blue seats there. I said, well, give me that joint. Okay. So I got the white joint with the blue seat. So I came back and I got more attention with that joint. Okay. So the joints was hot. The big sevens, man, we was the first two young cats with them. Okay. The 735 with no other young cats, these joints was about 55,000 at that time.
Man, I know that nigga felt like taking his truck back. Like, man, this nigga got the same truck as me, bro. And we supposed to be cool. That's my dude. I know that nigga felt like taking that motherfucking truck back, man. Oh, shit. Yeah, I appreciate the appreciation, family. Oh, shit. I know that nigga was like, what
cash with them joints. So
it's a Contracts Production for Feds Magazine.
In doing that, I was hooked up with 16th Street then, so they was
Yo, no, you not from New York. I know that nigga told that nigga, why you go get the same truck as me? I know that. I know that nigga said, yeah, that shit shady, bro. Like, come on, fam. I go cop a car, you go cop the same car. Like, if we talk about it, like, man, we should get matching this. That's cool. I could get that. People do that everywhere. But it's like, I go get something, you be like, watch this. You go get the shit. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not gonna say that's what Apple said, but actually those were Rich Bricks, and he was coming up with money to save his little brother. Apple killed all of his fame and a friend who helped him kill Rich. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That trying to want to be tapped in and see what I was like that too. The problem with that is once you're tapped in and then start serving the person to started you up, trapping never stopping on level. Yeah, nigga, yeah, I know this too. It's been a while trying to remember. That's how they move, so they always try to. Yeah, I mean, but remember, Rich wasn't trying to up Alpo. AZ wasn't trying to up Alpo. Rich and AZ was doing their thing. They was doing their thing. Hey, I'm just going to get a truck. I'm going to get a car. I'm going to get this. You got money. You're supposed to go get shit, right? You know? And I'm only going off what he said. He never said, hey, I was, I remember this one time I copped something. What's the name? Copped the same thing. Yeah.
Motorcycle. So they was going out of town. Matter of fact, they was making a trip to Myrtle Beach, taking the bikes down there for bike weekend. Okay. So we threw our bikes on the back trailers and all that. I had my 7. Me and the kid Stan, Rich and A didn't want to go, so the kid Stanley said, yo, I'll go with you, bro. Okay. So I wasn't really a highway driver. I like riding in the city front, checking out the hookers and all that. And I ain't feel like driving no 13 hours down to no damn Myrtle Beach. But I wanted to break my joint in and all that, so they had their Benzes and all that down there. They was older than them. They had their Benzes and their BMs and all that. So I said, I'm going to take my 7. Brand new joint, put some miles, get some mileage on this joint. Okay. So we go down to Myrtle Beach with them. There was a bunch of us. We go down there, Stanley driving. So we get down there. So it's morning time when we get down there. I'm checking out the scenery. All this is leading up to how I got to D.C. Okay. I'm checking out the scenery and all that. And at Myrtle Beach, I'm saying, man, I'm thinking I'm going to see hookers and I'm thinking I'm going to see the females. Right. I said, man, I don't like this. So I tell Stanley, I said, yo, man, I'm out of here. I'm going to this Virginia Beach thing that I heard about happening down in Virginia, man. Okay. So the day we got to Myrtle Beach, that same day, I said, yo, you feel like driving? Now he got to drive like another 6 hours back towards Virginia Beach. Okay. So he said, yo, and Stanley was that kind of driver, and so he said, yo, no problem. So I left Darnell and all them cats down, and then I left them down to Myrtle Beach, and I broke out. there. Me and Stanley went to Virginia Beach, just me and him. So now we rolling up in Virginia Beach early in the morning. It's about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Off the hook. We roll up in there with that white joint with the white piping and the white rims. So we roll up in the town with that joint. And at this time, Stanley's driving the car at the time. I'm just in the passenger seat. We roll up in this town. Everybody's looking at whoever's out in the morning getting breakfast or going to the restaurants. They looking at these joints, these two young cats coming up in here. And we like, man, what the hell? Where the hell is everybody? So we don't really know nobody on there. We don't know what's happening. So we wind up getting a room. And this was the first year. I think this was 86 for me or something. 87. We wake up. It's around 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening now. The joint is jam-packed. It was like 7, 8 girls to like every one dude. So now, in that, I met some DC cats down there. Okay. And I met some DC cats down there at the time because they seen the joint, young, out of town, getting money. So I met them and we exchanged numbers or whatever. And they told me about this. They told me about this Patti LaBelle thing that was happening, King's Dominion. So again, Rich and them, they wasn't really trying to go nowhere like that. No, they was more to staying in Harlem. Okay. So I told A, I said, hey, let me hold that 190, man, and with the Louis Vuitton seats and all that. So I took that joint down to Patti LaBelle, to the Patti LaBelle show. I had Gucci stuff from Dapper Dan. That's right. So they never seen none of that stuff in a car and all that. So and I had that 190 and I'm young and I'm pushing that joint. They like New York tags. Anytime I went to any of them events, I made sure I had New York tags. Wasn't no Jersey, none of that crap. New York tags. So that was my first out of town experience. So in that, I met some girls from DC because they was really on the Gucci jackets that I had in the Louis Vuitton. So they stepped to me and was like, well, what's your name? This and that. I told them where I was from. Blah, blah, blah. One thing led to another. We exchanged numbers. They the ones that told me, said, yo, the end of August, the last weekend or whatever, Virginia Beach be having this thing. Okay. So that's how I got there. So we invite them up to New York. So we like, yo, man, they come to New York. We gotta lay the script down. Let them know we doing our thing up here. Okay. So me and Rich, we decided, yo, we gonna buy some Porsches. So we had this dude out of the Porsche dealer in Jersey. So we went out there, and that's when the new 944 turbos was coming out. Okay. And they also weren't convertible, but they were new. They were new joints. They were just hitting the market. They wanted like 40 for each joint or something. So we was like, yo, that's what we gonna get. So Richie, the burgundy one he liked. I wanted a black one, but again, they didn't have it ready for that day, and we wasn't trying to wait. So I seen a silver one with some like burgundy seats, and the color combination was cool. And I just visioned it with some silver BBs on there and all that. And Rich joint was gonna have some burgundy joints. So we had about 70, 75 in a bag. And they wanted like anywhere from 35 to 40,000 for each joint. So we was like, yo, here's 75 for 2 joints right now. They was like, bet. So now we ready. We got new joints. They gonna see. They gonna be like, okay, we messing with some ballers. Okay. So and the weekend went beautiful. They had a wonderful time, and they went back to DC. Okay. So now they back in DC. So I'm keeping in contact with the girl Karen. Rich is keeping in contact with the girl Inga. So now that's what 45th. So 45th Street is starting to just become a headache to me now. Okay. So I'm starting to think to myself, you know what? I'm about to leave this thing alone. So in the process of doing that, I go down to DC. The girl Karen invites me down to DC. And I go on down there. I put my jewelry together, and I go on down there by myself. And I'm getting familiar with everybody. When I'm in DC for a little while, I'm in DC with the girl Karen because she know everybody. Everybody know her because she used to mess with some serious ballers in that town. So I'm in there. So I come to find out that they think I'm the police down there because she takes me up to this place called the Florida Avenue Grill where back then everyone used to go eat. And if you was a baller, you go there to eat and get your car washed. So they started whispering and all that. Amongst the whispers, she has an uncle that found out that, yo, that dude you with, a lot of these dudes think he's a federal agent, but in the same time, I don't know that this kid named Red Jack from the east side that I used to look up to as far as in the hustling game, he's down there also with this kid that we wind up killing later on. He's down there with him getting money. And he's down there with him getting money. And he starts hearing that I'm down there. He starts letting them know, like, yo, the kid out for now. He ain't no. Ain't nothing police about him.
Contracts,
He doing his thing up in New York and this and that. He's legit. If he's down here, he's trying to come down here. You know, he starts telling. If he's down here, he's trying to come down here and do some things and all that. So down there at the time, what was real popular was Chevy Blazers, the little joints. Two-door Chevy Blazers. A lot of dudes had them joints. So those were real popular down there. So I said, man, I'm gonna get me one of them joints and just blend right in. So now I got me a new truck. So they really looking like, yo, he was just right here with a Porsche. That's in the shop. Now he got a truck.
Right.
So again, my name is getting popular, and I meet this kid named Fat Rodney. Me and him became real cool. He got killed later on, but me and him became real cool. So I wound up hooking up with this kid named Cliff Cobbs. He come from a real known neighborhood in D.C.
Okay.
And a lot of people respected him and his brother Roy, and that whole little crew was a whole little crew of them. Because D.C., they quick for their guns, man.
Okay.
They kill you in a minute, especially if they know you're from out of town. So I wound up staying with the girl Karen and her family, and I wound up just giving 40-50 to the kid Jay. Now my thing is out of town, and I'm a wholesaler.
Okay.
So I wound up getting a couple of $100,000 out of my stash. I didn't deal no more with blocks and things of that nature. I wound up just going down there being a wholesaler.
Okay.
And again, I was seeing anywhere. At first, I was seeing like maybe $6,000 off of every brick. Then, you know, as prices and other people start coming into the town and all that, I wound up seeing maybe $4,000. And then it got to a point I was seeing anywhere from the lowest it got was anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 off a brick. And that was good for me because sometimes I would go to D.C. with 30 bricks and sell them all in one day. Whew. Yeah, because I had good customers. I had anywhere from 10 to 15 good customers because I was giving it to them at a good price. Because if D.C. was letting them go, if someone had them in D.C. for 21, 22, I was letting them go for 18. So in all of that, I wound up meeting some other cats. This young cat by the name of Pop and this other cat's name, and the process of putting coke in that town, I wound up meeting some cats named Kirk Bone. Okay. This fat kid named Kirk Bone. Rafe, the kid Rafe, he was a well-known. He was like one of the biggest cats coming up out of D.C. Okay. He doing life now in prison, but I wound up meeting him, and you know when he went to jail, that's when I really, basically, almost like really took over the town. So I wind up. So things started getting kind of crazy for me. I was into like my little man Pop.
And that nigga said that shit like that one. Shit. Another nigga, man. Hell yeah, I was fucking with him. He got killed later on. And the other dude, he was the man out here. He doing life in jail right now. Damn. Oh yeah, I am doing my PowerPoint too for those who weren't in the beginning. I got a debate tomorrow, so I am finishing this PowerPoint. Man, shout out to the family, man. Hit the like button, please. Let me see what y'all was saying. Did the dude snitched on everyone in the minute before the killings? 14 killings and came back after doing the bid, bragging about what he did. Certain way he killed Rich, said he didn't regret anything. Yeah. And super nonchalant fact. He didn't care about anyone that bad. Yes, he was wicked bad, man. Nico, did you hear the Queen's flip video? He knew it was coming. He accepted his fact. I think Queens narrated that as that. And I guess you can take it as that, but I don't think so. I think he believed it was sweet. Respectfully, I'm surprised he lived on the outside this long. Yeah. Yeah. Michael Slade, he was capping because once he got shot, he drove to the police for help and crashed. Yeah, when his protection helped. You should watch the documentary that also did. You will see then how much a sociopath he was. Yeah, no, I know. I really didn't need to know every single action. I'm listening to him talk. I'm listening to his personality. I'm listening to the situation he explaining and his logic in it. And I'm like, yo. Yeah, he was too full of himself. He really thought he was uncomfortable. He really thought he was uncomfortable. While the rabbit hole gets deeper, just watch it out. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Thinking he was untouchable. Yeah. Shout out to Gold Measy. Please get the likes up. Please smash the like button. People getting killed or locked up, then he takes over. He got comfortable outside. Mistake on his part. The video of him speaking is at the end of Queen's Flip video. Yeah, I watched it. I saw it. You know, I've been down a rabbit hole. I ain't just talking about this for nothing. You know? Yeah, he was supposed to be in Maine.
Was introduced to him by some other cats, and he was a young, wild 15-year-old kid coming out of Southeast that was killing anything moving. And he just wanted to be up under somebody that was
15-year-old killing anything moving. At 15.
going to look out for him. So I wound up taking him up under my wing and looking out for him, and through him I wound up meeting another cat named Wayne Perry. Now this kid here, I mean, he had the town on lock, and I mean, he had the town lock on fear and was putting his murder game down. You hear me? Anyone who mentions his name knew when they mentioned his name, they mentioned murder in the same sentence because he was about his work and didn't have no problem with talking about it in front of everybody and didn't care. And if you tried to go testify or tell on him, he was getting you. So the young kid Pop wound up coming to me and saying, "Yo, my man is in jail, this and that." So his bail was like something. I think I had to pay like 10%, which was like $10,000. I wound up giving up the whole $10,000 because I seen the bigger picture. Right. I said, if I get this kid out and the reputation that he has, then all that'll come on my side. Right. So I wound up giving up the whole 10, and it was a 10 well worth it. So I wound up getting him out. I didn't really step to him as soon as I got him out. I just let it be known to my little man. We wound up
15-year-old man know him.
Because my little man had an uncle that knew him. Okay. So my little man had the reputation of being wild and about his business. So his uncle was wild too, my little man's uncle. And him and the kid Wayne knew each other. Okay. So, and then Wayne, that's how he met him, and Wayne knew what my little man was about. So, you know, killers respect killers and all that type of thing. So we wound up hooking up, and we became real tight, me and the kid Wayne. And, you know, I got a lot of negative feedback. A lot of people were like, "Yo, we ain't really trying to mess with you like that because you got the kid Wayne running with you." Because a lot of dudes were scared of this dude. You know, it was little things going around like, "Yo, if you go get coke from the kid Poe after you get the coke, he puts the kid Wayne in them on you." So a lot of dudes were scared, but they was just doing that because they were scared of him, and they was really upset to see him out of jail. Right. So they was like, you know, they was hoping he stay in jail. Right. So they really feared this dude, and this kid was a real good dude, man. He was a loyal dude, man, and again, so he really respected that I got him out, and he felt that I owed him. He felt that he owed me. So one thing led to another, and he became not, I'm not going to say my lieutenant because he didn't really have anything to do with my business. He had something to do with it, but he didn't handle the drugs and none of that stuff. He handled more of the security aspect of it, like if it was time to put the murder game, or if someone was getting disrespectful, you know, or someone was trying to come at me, or then that's when he stepped in. I had to trust him, but I just always said, the less he knows about as far as where my stashes are, where I'm keeping the money, things that, the better it is. Because I always said, well, I'm worth more him alive than dead. Right. Because if he don't know where the money's at or the stash at, why would he ever want to bring harm to me when I'm feeding him? Right. So I became real strong in D.C. along with my own rep from New York, and now with him, we became real strong in the town as far as like, yo, they dangerous. And I pretty much had the town I pretty much had that small town on lock for a good period of time, man. It was like, because we went out a lot of the dudes that was supposedly holding it down. You say you went after them, what do you mean? When I say I went after them, because a lot of people were starting to talk about, well, we got to get rid of the kid Pope because he's getting too much money and he's not even from here. I did hear you got shot. I got shot because they was trying to kidnap me in D.C. My little man, I had a little dude. This little dude is the dude that killed Rich with me. He was getting money too. He was one of my best customers. He was really holding it. He had a beef with another crew, and we couldn't really get at them because they knew us, and they knew how we was coming and all that. So we had to
wrong video.
We had to hire
Don't get it fucked up. Don't get desensitized to the point you just say, yeah, he killed the dude with me. You know,
I got shot because they was trying to kidnap me in D.C. My little man, I had a little dude. I had a little dude. This little dude is the dude that killed Rich with me. He was getting money too. He was one of my best customers. He was really holding it. He had a beef with another crew, and we couldn't really get at them because they knew us, and they knew how we was coming and all that. So we had to hire like a ally. And this kid he volunteered to be the ally, but he wound up being a statistic. The day I was supposed to meet him up at this car wash, but I had bought these cars and I had these guns for him. The day I was supposed to meet him up at this car wash, he had other plans. They was going to try to kidnap me. Okay. So we would just leave it at that. They was going to try to kidnap me, and I wound up getting hit that day. You wound up getting hit? Yeah. I wound up getting hit in my ribs. The only thing that saved me, like I said, the only thing that saved me that day, because I was going to get this girl, the only thing that saved me that day was that as I'm talking to this dude, he looks over my shoulder. And when he looked over my shoulder, I followed his eyes. And when I followed his eyes, I seen about 4 dudes coming to try to grab me. Okay. And I start running. Next thing I know, I feel bullets and all that coming past my head and hitting off the wall and all that. And one caught me in the ribs.
That's when you figured, hey, put Wayne Perry in effect.
Yeah, that's what I figured, because he was already there, but then I just said, okay, now it's really just time to just bring him closer. Okay. And because, like I said, he knew everybody, everyone that was about that conniving, trifling, killing people for this and that.
Like, what was the downfall?
Downfall for that whole thing is like, again, it was a domino effect. The whole thing was, Rich's family, which is Peanut, Nathaniel Watkins, he told on me. Him and his girl told on me, and they told on me because Peanut
Appreciate the love.
one time needed like 125 grams for like a good customer that he had, and he couldn't wait. So Richard called me and said, yo, Paul, do me a favor, man. Ned's gonna come see you and take care of him, and I'll take care of you when you come to New York. Okay. So I did that for Rich. I did that for Rich. I took care. So I called, and we wound up hooking up, and his cousin comes to D.C. to get that.
Okay.
Several months later, his little organization down there get busted. So they wind up getting like crazy time. And now, after this, Richard is dead. And the only thing I ever did with his cousin was that 125 grams. You follow me? I follow you. They wind up telling the fans that I was their supplier, that I done shipped over 500 keys to Virginia for them, that I was the man, that I was their connect. Because Rich is dead now, so now they got to come up with a better story. So they wind up putting everything on me, and I wind up getting a complaint against me and a federal warrant put on me. So now I'm on the run for the next 2-3 years from that case down there.
But you were still able to be in D.C.?
Yeah.
On the run?
On the run. Man, let me tell you something. Where my man Wayne was located at in Southwest, so he was in Southwest, I was 2 blocks away from the federal building when they was looking for me.
You just stayed in the house?
Huh?
You just stayed in the house?
No, I wasn't in the house. I was on the block outside.
On the block outside?
2 blocks away from the federal building. They didn't know where I was at.
And why did you kill Richard?
Rich, the question to everybody with that, Rich, the reason why Richard, okay, I had a connect. I had a young Dominican connect off of Broadway. And, he wasn't really in position at the time when I was really dealing with him to really front me crazy. He would front me 1 or 2, but he wasn't really in a position where, we wanted him to front us like, 50, 60, 100 keys. We didn't want to put up no money. We want you to front us, and we'll pay you when we, get the drugs. Or if we got 100 from you, we'll put up some of the money and we'll pay you the rest. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we don't have to go in the stash for our money. So my connect wasn't in position at the time like that. And Richard was dealing with his connect that he met when he did that year in prison. He met a connect when he did that year in the Bronx house. So this kid was hitting him lovely, but then it stopped. The kid caught a dry spell. Since you ain't got nobody getting no blood from, deal with my man, he'll give you a good price. And the money I'm bringing from out of town, we'll hit him. And when he starts fronting us the drugs, you let me know. Because I had other connects. I had like 2 or 3 other connects that I was able to deal with too. So the time came when he was going to start fronting us.
And that sounds suspicious to me, right? Because, no, my theory. Police, politicians behind all of this. So, of course, you'll meet a plug in jail, right? Could have really met a plug in jail. And then AZ and Rich is so logical with their shit, right? You want to put Alpo in the main position. You know what I'm saying? So he gets a plug, then his plug runs out. He gets a plug, and then AZ plug runs out. Now he got to deal with Alpo. Switching it around. Shout out to Nico. Say Nico got the real tea. Those drug war days were tough. Glad we made it. He basically was the cause of Rich's little brother demise because he killed Rich while he was trying to find his brother. So since Rich was killed, the people never received the ransom money. A lot of the time, those jail plugs. Yeah.
That's the code. But I was out of town. Since I was out of town, he wasn't able to catch up to me. It was easy for him to just deal with Rich. Give it to Rich and let Rich give it to me.
Right.
So that's what happened. If he gave 100, I was supposed to get 50. You know what I mean? At the same price that he was charging Rich, I was supposed to get it for that price too.
Right.
But before this came along, I was already dealing with Rich with his connect. So if his connect was charging whatever, I didn't have no problem with Rich making $1,000, $2,000 off of me because I was coming to spend $300,000-$400,000 with him. But now my connect is giving it for $12-$13. My original connect is giving it for $12-$13, and I'm supposed to get half of that at that price. But Rich got me thinking that the coke that I'm getting from him is still coming from his connect. So then I wound up bumping into my connect because I wound up staying up there a couple of days, and I wound up running into my connect. So I bumped into him. So I said, "Yo, what's up, man?" I said, "Yo, what's up, man? When are you gonna start, looking out for a brother, man?" He's like, "What you talking about, Pope?" I said, "Man, you know what that I'm talking about. When you gonna start fronting up this and that?" And he had a lot of respect for me. I had a lot of respect for him. And so I said, "Yo, he's like, yo, what are you talking about?" I just gave Rich like 60 joints. This time he had just gave Rich like 60 bricks, and 30 of those bricks were mine.
Okay.
So I'm saying, "No, you didn't. You didn't." Rich got coke from his man. He said, "Man, Pope, I'm telling you, man." I said, "Oh, yeah?" I said, "Yeah, all right, man." And he described them, and I remember I had just got these round joints from Rich that were real good. I think they had like Reagan or somebody on them. They were real good, man. And he described it to me and everything. So I said, "Yo, all right." I said, "Yo, we never had this conversation, man." So I didn't really say much about it. I just had in my mind like, damn, Rich getting over on me like that. So I didn't say nothing to him the first time. So I went back down to D.C. to get rid of my bricks and all that. And I had developed a relationship with a dude that just started off as one of my customers. Me and him helped build a relationship where we became like real tight, like me and Rich in New York. This kid was me and Rich in D.C.
Okay. What was his name?
His name was Gary.
Gary.
Yeah, little Gary.
Is that the one that they say got his dick cut off?
Yeah, that's the one they say got his dick cut off, yeah.
Was that a situation from you?
Yeah.
That was?
I wanted to kill little Gary later on. This kid was good. He was probably about 3 years younger than me. He was a murderer, too. He was about his murder game.
Okay.
This was my little man. So I went back down to D.C., man, and I told my little man, I said, "Yo, man." So I said, "Yo, man, this dude Rich up in New York, man." And he knew Rich from me bringing him to New York because we used to do the firework thing in New York.
Okay.
Every 4th of July, I used to spend like $10,000-$15,000 with these guineas downtown and get me like a truck full of fireworks and come back to my neighborhood and blow it all up and all that.
Okay.
Around 105th Street. And this time I did it around 102nd Street with Rich and all that. And I brought my little man, because they never seen nothing like that being in D.C. They couldn't really do stuff like that. So I brought him to New York to show him how we live up there and all that. So he wanted me and Rich in that process and all that. So this day I went back to D.C. I said, "Yo, man, this dude here, man, I just found out this dude is jerking me, man. He's like, what are you talking about, Paul? I said, man, this dude getting the bricks for my man. I'm supposed to get half at this price. And he charging me this price because I'm thinking it's still coming from his connect. And his first thing come out, he's like, man, let's kill him, man. I was like, nah, just hold up for me. Let me think about this thing. So I wound up calling Rich. I said, yo, Rich, everything all right? Your man back on? So I'm just checking. I said, your man back on? He said, oh yeah, my man just gave me some more joints. You coming up? I said, yeah, I'll be there. I said, all right. I told my little man, I said, yo, we going to New York, man, and we gonna go see Rich. No, first I went to New York. I took care of my business with him. I spent about $500,000 with him, and got my bricks and all that. And I think he was getting them from. He was also getting bricks from like Fritz and them. I don't know if you ever heard of the kid Fritz.
Yeah, I heard of Fritz.
Yeah, he was. Fritz was getting boatloads of that stuff. I wound up taking it back to DC. So I'm still not saying that. So I'm saying my little man. I said, yo, man, that's it, man. I'm going back to New York. I said, yo, I'm gonna ask Rich. I'm gonna step to him because I'm really like just fed up with it now. I said, yo, I'm gonna ask Rich who he got that coke from. This last day I got who he getting this coke from. And if he lied to me again, that's it. It's over. I'm taking him out. So now I told my little man this. I'm saying, yo, you come. I said, yo, we gonna go to New York. I had just got me a customized van. I just bought me a customized van. Them big joints with the TV and the bed and all that. Okay. So I had just bought one of those, and it was up there in the shop getting the system done and all that. So I told my little man, I said, yo, we gonna go to New York. We're gonna fly to New York. I'm gonna get with Rich, and I'm gonna find out what the hell is going on. So one thing led to another, and I don't want to go into all, but did I? The question is, did I?
And you gotta understand, like we listening to it, but he did live this. So it's not nothing to him. He's not like, breaking down over this, crying over this. It's shit. I lived it. I survived it. That's my life. This was my life. What I'm supposed to sit here and be like, head in the dirt? Drug gang. Ain't no loyalty. You'll kill your best friend for $100,000 when you used to making $5,000. When you get $100,000, you'll kill your best friend for the chance to get on $100 million. That shit is crazy. Everybody got to eat. Everybody got to come up at the same pace. Like, it's only so much time for people feel like, shit, well, if I could cut you out, if I could go around you, if this can happen, this can happen. They'll try you. People who had nothing and they came to you and you put them in a position. That shit dissolves fast. Hey, I need to make a little bit of money. Hey, here you go. Oh man, now they making more money than a little bit that they needed. They making more money than they ever saw. They got the connect. They got the clientele. They got the spot. Motherfuckers will lose that shit. They reported now he was killed by a professional and he threw some drugs out the truck. Yeah. But this story is not accurate at all. This is why Rich family is celebrating his death because he walked around spreading the narrative, knowing Rich was stressed trying to find his bro. Yeah. Like, nobody's telling the complete truth. I don't think they can. Nobody's telling the complete truth. Yeah, they say the way that the bullets was right there in a very small area in the window, they said it was professional. Could be. Who knows? You know, people will speculate. It's a lot of speculation in the beginning. A lot. They also say he threw drugs out the window. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. The details will come out.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Kill Rich.
How'd that come about? You just put because
I go into all you know. But did I had to go to New York? I'm gonna get with Rich. And I'm gonna find out what the hell is going on. Okay. So one thing led to another, and I don't want to go into all you know. But did I? The question is, did I have anything? Did I kill Rich?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sir. Yes. Sir. I killed Rich.
How'd that come about? You just put because everything on the street said that a limousine pulled up.
Huh?
A limousine pulled up and put Richard in a car or something like that.
That's what they said?
Yeah.
No. That's what that didn't happen. That's for them to see later on. That's what that didn't happen. That's what that didn't happen. But I know the thing is, did I kill Rich? And yes, I killed Rich. Why did I kill him? It wasn't personal. It was business. I'm gonna tell you this, because Rich, like I told you, like the story I told with the connect and all that. Rich, he was lying to me about something that there was no reason to lie to me about, and in my mind, it just told me that if this little bit of money can come between what I thought was a wonderful relationship and a friendship, then no telling what you might send me down the line for. And I gave him the opportunity to tell me the truth, not once but twice. So when I already came with the plan on my little man, and like, yo, if he lied to me, we just gonna do what we need to do.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. Like I said, it caught 40 gunshots on camera. You know, they heard somebody was recording outside and they heard them. Boom, 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 boom. But there's 5 in the window. So they saying that he drove a little bit further. They got back on him and shot him once more. You know, blocks away from the police or the precinct or whatever. We can see, you know, he could have fired back. They could have shot him 4 times and he got a shot off. Don't know. We shall see though. We shall see. We shall see as the story unfolds. Yeah, facts. Well, we shall see.
Then that's what happened. Did I kill the little brother? No, I didn't. That was, you know who that was, right?
Right.
You know who that was?
Right. They said it was Preacher.
No, they didn't. That's who it was. They got not just Preacher, but Richard's uncle Apple.
Right.
They did that. And what made it seem like I had something to do with it is because where I left Richard, the boy's body was found almost in that same whole City Island area.
Now, they said you carried the body all the way from Harlem to City Island? You wasn't afraid?
No. I mean, once that first murder, once you take care of that first murder in your life, you know, it's like really, and not that this is a good thing that I'm saying, but you know, once you do it once, it's like everything else is. No, I wasn't afraid. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't afraid. I mean, I was doing what I had to do, Antoine.
Okay.
Definitely got killed in that area, and his body was definitely taken up to around City Island.
Okay.
He got hit twice. It was just he felt something, man. Because I'll tell you this: his hand was on the doorknob. I had to pry his hand from the doorknob because it locked on the doorknob.
Locked on the doorknob?
Yeah, he was trying to get up out of there.
They also said that he scratched your neck.
That's a false. He never scratched. Richard. First of all, Richard never seen it coming. Really, he couldn't have scratched my neck because I was the driver, and my little man took care of everything else. And he didn't scratch. How I got my neck scratched And it's not they said it. I believe AZ said my neck.
Right. AZ said it.
Yeah, I believe AZ said my neck. Hold on. Richard didn't scratch my neck. Richard never even seen it coming. Richard never even laid a hand on me. He never knew what was happening.
Now, how'd your little man get killed?
Little Gary got killed in D.C. And it wasn't because he helped me out with the Rich thing and all that. Oh, yeah, by the way, I got my money back that Rich jerked me out. If you want to put that,
okay.
Definitely got my money back.
How'd you do that?
Remember, I just got hit with a bunch of bricks from him.
Right.
That I was supposed to bring the money back for.
Right.
I kept that.
You kept that.
Yeah, I got close to what he was beating me for back.
Okay.
My little man in D.C. It came a thing with him where he was, he was a short kind of guy. He was about 5'1", 5'2", real slim in the body and a real big head.
Okay.
But he was getting money though. People didn't know he was getting money. At that time, he was probably holding about $1 million, $2 million, and people didn't know that he was holding like that. He was getting it, and he had a real short man complex. Okay, and like I said, we wasn't just business partners. I knew a lot of his business. I knew his family. He knew my family in D.C. and in New York. I knew his son's mother. I knew where he laid his head. He knew where I laid my head sometimes. I knew some of his stashes. He knew some of my stashes. We became real close. So, and he was also the one with me with Rich.
Okay.
So we had a lot of secrets on one another. And he had the short man complex, and he started to become real jealous with me as far as through the people, because the people used to, since I was Alpo, people used to see him with me all the time and think
My bad.
he was working for me.
Right.
Because not until I came to DC really, he started coming out with like Benzes and all, because he seen when I was there, so he started busting out with little Benzes and all that type of 300 coupes and all that.
Right.
And I always had the reputation if you let me your car, Antoine, automatically that was my car.
Right.
That was my car. And then if they seen you with it, like, oh yeah, he driving Paul car. So time went on. One day, me and him and one of his workers was sitting at a table at a restaurant having a sandwich, and he called my wife a bitch. He called my wife a bitch because he was like, man, you still with that crazy bitch? And I just looked over at him, and I could have took it a little better if it was just me and him. But one of his workers was there.
Right.
And I kind of like gave him that look like, yo, you really disrespected me right now. And so he seen her. She was coming to look for me down Southwest because she knew I hung out down there. So the kid, Gary, seen her, he was like, yo, there go that bitch. Look at that bitch. Who she looking for? She must be looking for Poe. And my man Wayne heard him say this. And he beat me. He beat me there. He was like, yo, Gary was down here talking trash about you and disrespected your wife. I was going to kill him right there, but I said, let me get with you first. Because I was like, no, I still got...
And see the mentality? I'm trying to prove myself to you. I heard this nigga talking about your wife. He called your wife. Then dude said, hey, this is my friend. We cool. He called my wife a bitch. I could have took it better, but it was another nigga there. So it wasn't respect for your wife. It was respect for you. Right? Because somebody else was there and heard them say that, and you couldn't be like, yo, bro, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't call my girl no bitch, bro. Oh, my bad. You right, apologize and y'all move on. That shit just lingers like a cloud. It's a weight. Hey, he called your girl a bitch. You ain't do nothing. Nigga, you getting millions of dollars with. Dude said the nigga had $2 million, and you still taking penitentiary chances? And you still taking penitentiary chances? Before, after you made $1 million or $2 million in the street? Man, if you don't move the fuck around. Shout out the Moonflower in the building. Appreciate it. Yes, he killed all his friends. You know what I'm saying? Wrong letter.
I love for the kid. No, he just He's just frustrated right now. And we had a lot of secrets on one another, and I always told them before this happened, I said, you know, we know so much about one another that if we was to ever get into any type of confusion or anything, one of us would have to leave. And I'm definitely not going back to New York because I'm getting money. So the only thing else is one of us will have to die. He was like, yo, I feel you, because we knew a lot about one another. So now I got this deal coming up with this connect, like, yo, this crazy big deal. Like, yo, they want me to put up like, I had to put up like maybe about $2 million. They was gonna hit me with like probably about, I say anywhere from like $6 million worth of coke in New York. You hear me? Yeah, it was like about $6 million. So they wanted me to put up like $2 million, and I owe $4. Right? So I had like 1.5. I put up like 1.5, and I was just telling my little man for him to just put up a $500,000. I was able to put up the whole. I could have put up the whole $2 million at that time. This would have just set us on the map for, and it was at like 11,000 a key, 10,000 a key. I could have came to DC and got 19,000 to the dudes who I didn't really like, and the dudes who I was real cool with, I could have got 17. You know, that was like $6,000, $8,000 profit. So before this goes about, his anger is really building up with me, and he's not really feeling me like that anymore. And we really had stopped hanging out, but I didn't really pay no attention to it. I'm saying I still got love for this kid and all that. So he tells somebody down in Lawton Prison about this deal. He told somebody that he was cool with down there. Only thing he didn't know that the same person that he's telling, they know my man, Wayne. My man Wayne, he get to me and say, yo, you about to put a deal together in New York for this, that, and gonna put gas. I said, what the hell? I said, how you know? He said, well, man, my man called me down from Lawton. He said, Gary told him that, yo, that you want to put this deal together and it ain't gonna go, he gonna wind up doing you in the process. Just how much anger he built up from me. So I said, well, yeah. So my man was like, yo, I said, no, we got to do this right now. Can't just be running up on Gary in broad daylight. That's gonna come back to us. So we got to do this right, and we got to get him when nobody know. So my little man Gary, he had a little beef with somebody, and they just like maybe like a month earlier, they tried to kill him. And so he beats me one night and said, yo, kid, one of the kids' name was Jawbreaker out of DC. The kid named Jawbreaker. He said, yo, I know where Jawbreaker them at. This is Gary talking to us on the phone. Like, yo, I know where the kid Jawbreaker them at. They had such and such, such and such. I said, oh yeah. So I'm talking to him on the phone. I said, who you with? He said, yo, I'm by myself. I said, you got something? He said, yeah, I got 2 pistols with me now. I said, all right, I was with my man Wayne and like 2 other dudes that were under my man Wayne. So that was our perfect opportunity. My man Wayne was like, yo, this is it. Make it happen. So we go, we jump in this kid's MPV van. Because we used to like using MPV van because they had the little side compartments. We could throw the pistols in there if the police pull us over real quick. So we jump in the MPV van. So I'm driving because I was like the best driver. So we go meet the kid Gary, because this is a perfect opportunity. Don't nobody know he's with us now. And when he come up missing, we can always be like, man, I knew how to deny it quick. Okay. So we go get him. Boom. So we go get him. He gets into the MPV van. He parks his car or whatever. He parks his truck. He has a truck. He parks his truck. I met him on, Florida Avenue. I go meet him on Florida Avenue by a Wendy's, I think it was. Okay. We get a little revolver out of the stash, and I give it to the dudes that's sitting in back of my man Gary. So my man Gary, he's in the middle, but he don't know that we done slipped the revolver to the back to the kid who's gonna hit him in the head. Mm-hmm. We ran for about 5-10 minutes after we get the gas. Bang! My man hit him. I give the signal through the rearview mirror. My man hit him with the revolver, 2 in the head. All you hear is ugh. Once he hit him, because the kid Gary was getting kind of sleepy because we was about to be like, yo, we ain't gonna catch these dudes. So, Gary was getting kind of sleepy, so he's like dozed off for a minute. So he never even seen it or felt it coming. So the kid hit him with the revolver, pow, pow. So the bullets don't go nowhere because in the revolver, they don't pop out. So we hit him in the head twice. Gary, he winds up shitting on himself from his muscles relaxing. So, he's stinking up the car and all that. So that's how the thing came about that his dick was chopped off. So we had to find some wood.
Kissing that man on the head. Like, wow. That shit is crazy.
So I had to find somewhere to dump him at. So we want to.
And this supposed to be his homie. This supposed to be his homie. This was my dude. This the dude I killed Rich with. Ain't no friends. That nigga said, ain't no friends.
Shitting on himself from his muscles relaxing. Okay. So, he's thinking up the car and all that. So that's how the thing came about that his dick was chopped off. So we had to find some woods. So I had to find somewhere to dump him at. So we wound up taking him in this park over on 16th Street in Northwest. I don't know if it's Potomac Park. I think it's called Potomac Park or something. So we wound up taking him over there. And I said, yo, man, we're going to leave him in the woods. So I said, yo. So we pull over in this real dark. I said, yo, take off his clothes, man. So they won't spot him through the clothes and all that. Take off his clothes and leave him naked in the woods. So we do that, and we dragging him through the woods naked. So he gets a couple of scratches on his body and his face and on his penis because, we taking him through the woods. We dragging him. So that's how it came about that they thought we chopped off his dick and all that. And I thought where we left him at was real cool, but we wound up leaving him next to some type of telephone box or something. And the next day, just so happened that the telephone people was coming out to fix this box. And that's how they found him the next day.
Then they said something about Dementia with your wife.
Huh?
Dementia.
Dementia was a situation where he really disrespected himself and he disrespected other people. And that's why that happened to him. Okay. Yeah. He thought he was tougher than what he really was. But I ain't play with them Brooklyn.
Did you play with them?
No. They were cool. I had some cool ones that came up out of Brooklyn, but I just always remembered as a kid how Brooklyn used to like to rob you and all that.
Right.
How they was always known for robbing you. So that kind of like stuck with me in my time. But I met some cool getting money dudes out of Brooklyn without a doubt.
Okay. Who had them?
My man that was down with
Wayne.
Not Wayne, but the kid that was up on the Wayne. Wayne. Too many people knew him as far as right there, so we got one of his little soldiers to hit him. But I was shaking his hand. I told him, I said, when you see me shaking his hand, I nod my head. You hit him right.
You never feared that one of the bullets would slip off and maybe hit you?
No, I didn't care about that. I was shaking his hand. It was enough because they walked right up on him. I mean, it wasn't no like from a distance. As I was shaking his hand, they walked right on him and put the gun right to his forehead and blasted him.
Was it in the daytime?
Yeah, daytime. Broad day after a basketball game. I just got finished playing basketball in a basketball tournament.
So now did that put the police right on you?
Well, they were ready on me, so that just like let them know. Because later on, when they finally arrested me, they was like, "Man, you was killing off everybody." So that just gave them. They was already looking for me, so that was just something else that they put in their book, like another one.
Didn't y'all kill someone else that was from your crew?
His name was Andre.
Right. What happened to him?
Yeah, we killed him. Yeah, we killed Andre. And this guy was spending a lot of money, man. Killed him for two reasons actually. One is he was messing with my man Gary's girl.
Okay.
And we told him to leave her alone.
Okay.
That was the main reason because he was messing with my man Gary's girl. We found out about it. So being that he was
my man Gary that I killed. My main man Gary that I just killed. That killed Rich for me. He killed this dude. This dude was cool with me. But I was messing with this dude girl. And this dude, Andre, who girl I was messing with, was messing with Gary girl. And Gary found out.
Was dealing with me, I kind of like was able to talk to my man Gary and tell Gary like, yo, check this out. Dude is spending money with me. Just chill out. We're not going to do nothing to him. So I went.
You're spending good money?
Huh?
You're spending good money?
Man, the man was spending about $400,000 every month with me. Whew. About $400,000 every month. At least that. He found out that I was messing with his girl. You know, he came kind of like put it together and found out, but he never said nothing. Now, he met my man's girl somewhere, somehow, and he booked her, and they was doing their thing. And the girl, Caprice, was kind of like, she was starting to get real unhappy with my man Gary, because he really had her on lockdown, kept her in the house with the baby and all that. She couldn't really do nothing and all that. We had bought her a convertible BM and all that, but she couldn't really drive it. When she drove it, she had to be certain places. So he really had her on lock and had her scared. So kid Andre met her, whatever, and, you know, I guess So we found out about it. My man Gary found out about it. He called me. This is when we was tight like that. He called me. He was like, yo, Paul, I need to talk to you. I said, all right. So I met him or whatever. He's like, yo, this nigga Tank messing with my girl. This and that, man. I'm going to step to him. You know, that's my people and all that. I said, hold up, Gary. And my man Gary was like, yo, that's it. He was ready to just take him out. So, because he knew that was Gary's baby mother, and you didn't do that.
Right.
So, and you know, I'm boning Andre's girl, so I'm like, oh man. So let me go talk to him first. And again, the kid Andre never said nothing to me. He knew I was boning Gary, never said nothing to me. So, and he wasn't no tough guy, and he didn't, you know, he was about getting $1. So I went to go talk. I said, yo, Andre, check this out. I mean, you doing
shout out to the Diva Brandy in the building.
But yo, you got to stop boning Gary's girl, man. You got to stop messing with her, man, because he knows he's upset, and you know he giving fair warning. I mean, he's letting this one go because he don't believe y'all had sex or whatever, and I don't even want to know. But whatever you doing with her, let it go, man. No, it ain't worth it, man. He was like, yo, I hear you good looking out, this and that. He told me this straight in my face. About 2-3 weeks passed. My man Gary called me, kid. He beat me. Yo, come see me, man. So I go meet him. Kid Andre got to die, man. Check this out. Dude doing it again, man. He's still seeing Caprice and this and that. I said, all right, man. He said, man, this time I want to talk to him. So I said, all right, no problem. So I had a deal with the kid Andre for about $270.
You can say Poe Gary, but remember, Gary was a murderer. Gary put his murder game down too. That's why he fucked with it. Yeah, he felt he couldn't cross boundaries. If you wasn't willing to kill, you can't cross the boundaries. If you gonna let a nigga do you, hey, you just got done. That's the game. If you ain't willing to put the murder game down, you just gonna get crossed. You know, so let's get back to the money. Fuck it, it happened. You gonna kill? No? Well, you my mans. What's up, my mans? Let's get back to this money.
Okay. About $270,000 this day. He wanted some drugs. So I said, yo, we killed 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm going to meet him, take care of this business with him, and you can talk to him at the same time. So I go meet the kid. We go meet the kid at my favorite spot over there, Minnesota and Pennsylvania Avenue, over there by Amazon. I told Gary, I said, just chill, man. Let me go talk to him. I had my 5.0 this day. I said, let me go talk to him, and then you come. So I got into the truck. I told the kid, I said, what's up, man? I said, everything all right? He said, yeah. I said, well, what's going on, man? You bad? He said, nah, this and that. So my man Gary, here come my man Gary. As I'm talking to the kid Andre jumped into the back of the caravan to go get the money out and all that. And I was over in the passenger seat. So my man Gary, he comes from out my car, which he was in the passenger seat, and comes around through the driver's side to the empty seat. So the kid Andre is coming from the back seat to the middle seat now with the bag of money. So as soon as the kid Andre turns around to look at me and let me know that the bag that my man Gary is coming in the car and hit him right in the head. Boom! My man Gary was strapped all the time. He knew he was going to kill him, but he knew not to tell me because I was going to tell him, no, don't do that. So now I'm like, oh, Gary, what the hell? He's like, yo, man, the hell with that dude, man. He was this and that, this is bad. I said, all right. But in my mind, I'm saying, yeah, you're right. Because now I got the girl all to myself, so we killed 2 birds with 1. I'm saying I'm going to miss the money, but I got the girl now, too. Got the 270 now. So I take the money. I said, man, what the hell? I take the money. He had a Rolex on. We left all that. I said, man, follow me in the car, man. I said, here, take this bag. Take the car. Follow me. So we drove about 5-6 blocks away from that area. Right. Like in a residential area, nice quiet block. Just threw him down on the floor. Wiped off everything that we touched and all that. And just left him there. And they found him like 2 days later, 3 days later, because from the stench of the body and all that. Because it was like summertime, so his body started stinking and they found him.
Did the girl think that you did that?
No, she didn't think it at first, because she beat me. As soon as she found out, it was like, yo, they killed Andre. She cried. So, I'm like, hold on, boo-boo, don't worry about it. We're going to find out who did that. So I'm going over there, comforting her and telling her to calm down and this and that. And so now we got that 270, and I give my man $100,000, I keep 170, and
This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or purpose use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement intended. Enjoy. Oh yeah, on your way out, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, man. This is the Argument League. Turn up.
On that one.
Was that on that one?
Yeah, he violated as far as my man telling him to stay away from his daughter's mother. And he wouldn't listen. Yeah.
How many are you actually charged with?
14.
14 homicides?
14 murders, yeah.
Which are they?
Some of the 8 in D.C. and the rest was in New York, like some of the stick-up kids. Okay. And
so how'd they find out about the stick-up kids in New York?
Well, that's what I'm seeing. But now my situation, now we get it, that my situation. Now, I want to take this opportunity to just, 2 rumors that was always around about, and make sure this goes in there, Antoine. Okay. 2 rumors that was always out about me. That one was, I don't know if you ever, that I was dying of AIDS in prison.
I heard that.
Okay, that's false. Okay. I'm healthier than I ever was.
Okay.
And the other one, a lot of people, Poe is snitching, Poe is telling. Yes, if that's what you want to call it, then that's what you call it. But Poe calls it looking out for Poe.
Okay.
I'm doing what I gotta do for me, and for the people that read this and read the article, or the once upon a time friends that I thought I had, and they.
He say he snitched. He told, doing what's best for him, but then he gets out and he doesn't do what's best for him. He goes back to the lifestyle. He wants the attention. He wants the flashiness, the motorcycles, the jewelry, the clothes, the stories, the reputation. When what would have been best for you was to remain in Maine, stay under, take your new name, Abraham Martinez or whatever it was, and live your life somewhere a nobody. But he couldn't do that.
They look at it and say, "Oh, Poe went out like a sucker. Or Poe went out like this." In life, you make choices, and sometimes those choices are good and they're bad. You follow me?
I follow you.
And I thought at the time when I did what I had to do for me,
just showing a bit.
I definitely had to understand that what I'm doing ain't right, but that's what I needed to do for me.
Right.
I've truly come to accept that I made the right choice.
Did at any point Rafis himself try to send anybody out?
No, me and him never had no problems because when he was out, he had so much of the town locked. I wasn't really a threat to him.
How many different crews tried to kill you in D.C.?
In D.C., I probably had about 3 different crews trying to come at me, and they was coming at me, but they wasn't for real though, because they knew who I had with me, man. They knew I had killers, man. They knew I had killers. They knew I was boss my gun too.
Do you ever feel at any time that they may get together and try to kidnap you?
What, Wayne and them?
Right.
No.
If Wayne was so loyal, why'd you flip on him then?
Government. They wasn't dealing with Al Poe on a, well, we're going to give you 10 years, Mr. Martinez, or we're going to give you 15 years, or even 20 years. No. They wanted me for the death penalty. They was trying to look to give me the death penalty. Or if they couldn't succeed with the death penalty, they was going to try to give me the rest of my natural life in jail. Because we had murders. We had 2 murders. We had murders 2 blocks away from the White House.
What was that about?
Huh? That was about a female. That was a female. She wasn't really, that was about a female. But my man was so crazy that this female, when we killed this big drug dealer in D.C., that was the guy earlier I told you, the kid, Michael Frey. When we took him out, it was such a big deal. That was such a big thing that this hooker started, I'm not even going to call her hooker, this female started running her mouth about a situation that she didn't really know nothing about, and my man got so upset at that he just said, you know what, she got to go. She talking too much. And it was after a Keith Sweat concert. It was at the place called Constitution Hall.
That's what I'm saying. He deserved last your life in jail. Did he deserve death? Remember? He said they were trying to give him a death penalty. And if not, life in prison. So if he would have got life in prison and still been alive today in jail, would that have been paid in full? Or would he have got away with some of the bad he did? I mean, people do less and get life in prison. People get caught driving 3 times and get a life sentence. Not natural life, but a life sentence. People do, get caught with so much drugs and spend the rest of their life in jail. After all the shit this dude did, was life in prison enough? Hell for him will be getting out and being nobody.
Constitution Hall, and that's like 2 blocks away from the White House. And he just left for there.
Just left for that. Why'd you kill Michael Frey?
Michael Frey was someone who was about to get back in position in D.C., and he had a little cleanup list of people who he needed to eliminate for him to be back in power like that again. And I was the first one at the top of his list. Get rid of me. And how I found out about that is that he didn't know I was feeding somebody in his camp. I was looking out for somebody in his camp because he couldn't take care of him. And they got the information back to my man, and my man got it to me. And that same person that was in his camp wound up killing him for me.
Now, the murders that you're charged with in D.C., which ones are those?
Like I said, those 8 of them, we go into more detail, but 8 of them are in New York. 8 of them are in D.C., and I think 2 was in Maryland, and the rest was in New York. It came out to 14 that I copped out to. And when I say copped out to, when in my position as far as doing what I had to do for me, as far as testifying and all that, and I had to confess to those murders. I had to tell those murders.
How would they get the New York murders?
Well, because that's all one. New York comes to D.C. and they give the investigation. When the feds are investigating you, they investigate everything.
But how would they know all of that?
From me.
Oh, okay.
Once you take the position.
From me. I told you. You're like, yeah, how did they find out about all that shit? Me. I told you.
That I've taken, you have to tell it all. Once they investigate everything.
But how would they know all of that?
From me.
Oh, okay.
Once you take the position that I've taken, you have to tell it all. They didn't know I had said them, because if it came a time later on that they found out about it, then whatever agreement, whatever situation that they gave me, they can take it back and take me back to court. Okay. It was that kind of thing. Like for 4 of the murders in New York, I got immunity.
Got immunity?
Yeah, I basically almost got like immunity, because they just added them to the murders in D.C.
Okay. Let me ask you another thing. They said also in New York that our preacher extorted you and Rich.
Right. Now, yeah, let's cover that real quick. Preacher never took 2 pennies from me. Now that's one. Like I said, I'm here telling you that I'm telling you, so there's no reason for me to hold back anything from you. The preacher never took 1 penny from
Produced by Contrast Productions.
Never, ever. He would have took 2 bullets before he took any kind of money from me. Preacher, now, his situation with Rich was different. Preacher took care of some murders for.
Yeah, because what he was explaining, say, he gave them answers to questions they didn't ask. Because if you're turning state, you have to tell about all the crimes you know. And if they're talking about murder, you have to tell about all the murders you know. And if we find out you have information on murders or you're partnered with murders, we can take that deal we gave you off the table, take you back to trial, and give you this life. So you gotta give me any information that might pop up later on that you could be tied to, because it will compromise the deal you're making right now.
For Rich. No, Preacher, I was real cool with the guy that Preacher killed named Terry. That was his partner. Okay. I was messing with his goddaughter named Vanessa. This girl named Vanessa. And they never came at me for any kind of extortion. One time, preacher came and asked me for like a half a key of coke, and I never even got it to him because I was so much in and out of town. I wasn't even thinking about him. No, my little man, my man that I told you earlier that was the stick-up kid with me and all that. He had preacher. He knew preacher. He was gonna kill preacher. Preacher never took a penny from me. Even now in my position, some people came to see me about preacher, and they was asking me like, "Yo, the preacher." So I could have benefited from there if I wanted to, and just said yeah. But no, preacher never took any kind of money from me. He always thought AZ was a punk. He always used to call AZ a punk. He knew what I was about. He knew what I was about, so he didn't even come at me like that. And as far as Rich, him and Rich had an understanding because of Apple being Richard's nephew, and Richard paid him like $10,000 before he came home or something to kill this kid Sean Moe. They killed him coming out of 145th Street garage in St. Nick. So him and Rich had that situation, and then he was right around the corner in 148th Street. But I don't ever remember Rich even giving him any money. So and see the thing with the preacher. That's why I don't care if you was talking to him. If somebody rode by you and seen you talking to the preacher, they automatically said he was getting money from you.
Right.
That's how that was. That's how his rep was. It was so strong like that as far as extortion. But if anybody that really knows me, they know I'm not paying nobody nothing. Right. It's easier for me to tell him to meet me and pick up the money and just put two in his head. Come on. I could have brought, that was the case, I could have brought my man Wayne from D.C. If I didn't even want to, I could have brought him from D.C. They don't know Wayne. Wayne would have walked right up on him, hit him 3 times, and then piss on him. They ain't caring about no damn preacher. He respected me the same way I respected him.
What was it like when did the feds catch you at?
They caught me in D.C.
In D.C.?
Yeah.
They said it was on Pennsylvania Avenue?
Yeah.
Minnesota? Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania Avenue, yeah. No, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, yeah. Minnesota, Pennsylvania, yeah.
What was that experience like?
That experience, that was a scary experience for me because, just the feds, I know, once they came, I knew it was over. They was lamping outside this apartment. They was lamping outside this house I used to be at a lot. This dude used to cook. He was a faggot. And his name was Manny. Manny was a good guy. He was a homo, though. He was gay. Everyone knew him in D.C. And the guy, Frey, that I talked about that we killed, his girlfriend, her name was the same girl that Rich used to mess with. This was one of the girls that Rich used to mess with named Inga.
Okay.
She was messing with the kid Frey now. So now after he gets killed, they don't line the feds run up in her house. They had heard he got killed. So they had heard that I may have killed him because I wanted to be with her. So they ran up in her spot. So when they ran up in her spot and told her that, she was like, oh yeah, he might have had something to do with it. Well, he don't be here. He be at Manny's house all the time.
Right.
So what they did was they started checking out Manny's spot. And they caught me coming there a couple of times, but they didn't move in at that point. They wanted to make sure that it was me. So this one night they was lamping outside the joint. I was waiting for her, and in the process that I was waiting for her, the kid Manny came outside, and we were sitting in his Cadillac because I was waiting for my wife to pull up, and this dude walked past the car. Black dude, it was around 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I was like, hey, what the hell? What are you doing walking by? So I'm strapped. So I get the 9. I was carrying like 2 9s with me, so I pulled them joints out. The kid Manny's like, what you going to do? I said, no, I just don't trust this dude right here. So I got my 9s with me and all that, and so he disappears. My wife pulls up. She's driving a rental car, so I get in because I had took all the cars back from her, so she couldn't get to none of the cars. I had took her BMs and all that. So I go on the passenger side of the rental, and I get in. I said, yo, go ahead, drive. I told Manny I'll see him later. I went up in the rental talking to her. I told her to drive. So as she's driving, I see a great Thunderbird coming back of her. You make that turn. You make that left. So the light is green now. Now she's moving a little something. It goes to yellow. I said, okay, now speed up and make this left. So when she made the left, she almost turned in, like going the wrong way up the street. Okay. So I grabbed the steering wheel and jerked it back to the right lane, where the traffic is going the right way. So right across the street, right across from the corner that we made the turn, there's a Amoco gas station on Pennsylvania and Minnesota.
Okay.
So they got a police car in there. They knew that I wouldn't pull over for no regular car. So what they did was they sent a police car at me. And in my mind, I wasn't driving. My wife was driving. So in my mind, I'm saying, okay, I got fake ID. I had about 10 different IDs. And my wife had her license, so I'm saying, well, you ain't really do nothing, so just pull over and we gonna see what they gonna say. You made a mistake, and we on our merry way. But the feds was behind them all the time. The feds had said, they told me later on that we knew we couldn't just pull you over in any old kind of car. So a regular police car you may pull over for. And when I stepped out, they jumped out the trees and out the restaurant, and all kind of cars came and this and that. But I tried to jump back in the car, and my wife tried to throw the car in drive, but she never got it in drive. She just got it down to neutral, and the car was just revving real high. And they snatched her out the joint and pulled her through the window, and they threw me on the floor. And the feds, and then one of the agents was like, "Give us that famous smile." And I just looked up at them and gave them a smile. They was like, "Yeah, that's him." Yeah. And they had and when I went to the federal building, they had a can of Alpo on their table.
A can of Alpo.
Yeah, they gave a can of Alpo to the federal agent who finally got me. The van that they had an old van sitting outside this faggot's house. And when I finally got knocked, they opened that joint up, and that joint had top of the line technology. It had like a scope up in there, all type of surveillance equipment and all that. But the joint looked like a raggedy old van. So they was definitely surveilling the joint from the girl telling her that I'd be down there a lot. And that's how they got me. That's how they got me that night, November 6th, 1991. Over to D.C. jail and all that. I'm in D.C. jail for a little while. I'm, my name. They started to hear that I'm up in there, because the kid Rayful, he had just maybe like 2 years before, he had just left the joint. Like I said, he was like one of the biggest dudes coming up out of D.C. I'm hooking up with some of the dudes that I used to deal with on the street. They brothers are in there, so they strong. A couple of little beasts was trying to take off for the kid Michael Frey. His nephew was in there, and a couple other dudes that was rolling with him, so they was trying to, like, yo, did you kill my uncle and this and that? But nothing never came about that, because I was a little too much. I was a little too strong for them at that time.
You're strong. You had a little crew in there.
Yeah, I had to. Like I said, my man. My man and brother and them, they were strong. Then my man Wayne, he did send the word to the jail, like, yo, my man is up there. Make sure he's right.
Right.
So the unit they had me, and dudes was like, yo, don't worry about nothing, bro. You all right? Okay. And like I said, my man, little brother, he doing like 40 with the feds now. I think he just caught another body. He was strong, so I didn't really have nothing to worry about. But then they snatched me up out of it. They took me to Virginia. Now it was time for me they was extraditing me to Virginia to the original complaint, which was Nut. Right. Rich and them cousins. Now I'm over in Alexandria Detention Center, sitting for months, just sitting, not knowing what the hell is going on. My lawyer's telling me, well, they got you for this, they got you for that. So in that, I'm thinking, okay, I can fight this over here. This ain't really nothing. That's crazy. I didn't do all this over here. I'm thinking, DC not really coming. They got me for something in Virginia. What DC was doing was just building their case and was going to just add to this Virginia thing. So once I was in that system, they had people willing to come testify. Once I'm in jail, they had people willing to come testify against me, and other crews before me were going to try, and they was coming back with Natural Life and all. So my lawyer was like, look, you really need to make a decision. And I was trying to fight them. I was going through all the preliminaries as far as what kind of evidence they had on me, what their case was. I was really taking it to the point where I'm going to see if I can fight these people. And my lawyer was like, look, your ace in the hole is, if they ever ask you to tell, you really need to think about that. And that wasn't until like 8, 9, almost a year later that I decided to do that. So my lawyer came back at me and was like, look, they're trying to make a deal, man. They really want Wayne Perry. They want you, but they also want Wayne Perry. And if you got anything good on Wayne Perry, they're willing to make a deal with you. So I was like the less of two evils. Me and Wayne, we were both evil to them, but I was the less.
Right.
Evil one. Like, we can sleep with him, but we can't do nothing with Wayne Perry.
Right.
We got to prosecute one of them, so I'd rather us prosecute Wayne Perry. But then when them crackers wanted me, they put the full court press on me. We gonna hit you with the death penalty. We know we got you for this murder. We got you for that murder. This is capital punishment right here. We gonna get you. I'm sitting up in there like, yo, the hell am I gonna do? I'm talking to my lawyer. My lawyer like, yo, your ace in the hole is Wayne Perry, because they asking about him and this and that. I'm saying, yo, we're not going there right now. Here's 70, 80,000. Let's get this thing rolling and all that. And then they started bringing in the wife, talking about going to mess with Mama Duke and the sister and the niece. I said, hold. Let's talk. What you want?
So, absolutely.
I met the kid AZ.
Produced by Contracts Productions.
This is when I met AZ.
Absolutely. Shocking.
AZ had his episode 29 of The Real Rap Show
the real reason Alpo was killed. Now, before we get this episode started, I would like to say thank you to all the new subscribers. The third question is, do y'all think that Harlem is going to protect this person and make
Alpo Martinez on previous visits to Harlem in recent years, but his latest visit turned out to be his last. On Sunday, about 3:20 a.m., police were called to Frederick Douglass Boulevard near West 147th Street. A dark red pickup truck crashed into parked cars. The driver was shot 5 times in the chest through the car window and killed.
I heard 5 shots, 1 and then four consecutive shots after that.
It was Alpo, but his driver's license and other IDs had his witness protection name of Abraham Rodriguez with a Lewiston, Maine address. The murder scene stretched for blocks up to 151st Street. Alpo had been given a new identity when he was released from a Colorado Supermax prison in 2015 after serving more than 20 years for 14 murders. But instead of lying low, he couldn't seem to stay away from New York.
He's been seen riding around Harlem most of the time. You know, he's been seen down in Harlem a lot.
In addition to the murder convictions, Alpo was widely believed to have turned on many of his former associates in order to shave years off what could have been a life sentence. There is no shortage of people who may have wanted payback.
Other than him being who he is, this seems to be a thing with guns going on that everyone's, you know, it's getting out of hand with the guns. Everyone seems to have a gun right now.
Sources tell me that Alpo may have been shot while sitting in his car further down the block and then tried to drive away to escape. Investigators will be looking at forensic evidence as well as surveillance video to get a clearer picture of what really happened.
Alberto Geddes Martinez, born June 8, 1966, died on October 30th, 2021, better known as Alpo Martinez or simply Alpo, was an American drug dealer of Puerto Rican ancestry from Harlem, New York City. He rose to prominence in the mid-1980s. In addition to New York, Martinez expanded his drug trade to other cities, notably Washington, D.C. Martinez was released in 2015 while serving a 35-year sentence for 14 murders at ADX Florence, a federal supermax prison located in Fremont County, Colorado. He was released after testifying against former associates and has since been living under a United States Witness Protection Program. He was rolled up in a backwood on October 31st of 2021 at 3 a.m. in the morning. Now we're going to start from the bottom, and I'm going to bring y'all to the top. Hit that like button right now. In Alpo's early days, he was not a drug dealer. Alpo was an Evel Knievel type of guy, a real thrill seeker. He would ride motorcycles up and down the streets of Harlem, do wheelies, do tricks. He was a real known guy to just be on Broadway, like on the front line. He wanted that fame. He wanted the girls. He wanted the attention, the notoriety from the people on the streets of Harlem. Let's be clear. He was a known person on the streets of Harlem, but he was not into the game the way AZ and Porter was at that time. Leave the dog in the street. I want y'all to remember I said that throughout this whole entire show. Leave the dog in the street. Now, in the early 80s, Richard Porter and AZ was already these guys already. They was already getting money, buying cars. They had the fame, the girls, the notoriety, the street credibility. Alpo wanted to be down with that. But he didn't know how to approach these guys because everybody wanted to be down with these guys. Everybody was approaching these guys when they got the chance to ask them, yo, let me get a little something. Yo, I want to be down with y'all. But AZ and Rich was real sensitive about who they put down with them, because one thing they didn't want was to bring in the wrong person, and that person brought down what they were starting to build. Now, one day, Alpo was riding his motorcycle through the Harlem blocks, and he sees Gangsta Lou and AZ entering AZ's building. If I'm not mistaken, Gangsta Lou was with AZ. He could have been with Rich, but if I'm not mistaken, it was AZ. So, like I said, Gangsta Lou with AZ is going up to AZ's crib
to bag up some work. Alpo sees them and calls them and stops them. And he goes, yo, let me get a little something. I want to get down with y'all. So, like I said, at this time, AZ and Rich and them was hitting a lot of people off with what we call consignment. You know, giving them something and getting the money after they, get themselves right or whatever. So they knew who Poe was. So they look at each other like, you want to get this dude something? So what they tell Poe is, they go, Poe, wait right here. We'll be back down. So Gangsta Lou and AZ goes upstairs to AZ's crib. They start to do whatever they upstairs doing now. If y'all know the process of doing this, it takes hours, especially if you got a whole lot of work. They was bagging up a whole lot of work. So they was upstairs for so long, they forgot that they told Alpo, who was downstairs sitting on his motorcycle, that they was going to be right back down. They ended up being upstairs for hours. So Gangsta Lou says, during them getting ready to, put everything up and come back downstairs and leave, he realizes and go, yo, this dude is still outside. So they come downstairs and they thinking they're going to see Alpo gone. Like, they was upstairs for so long that he left. They looked and Alpo was still on the motorcycle. Now he's on the motorcycle, laying on the motorcycle, sleeping. That's how long he was sitting out there waiting for them to come back downstairs. That's how hungry he was that he wasn't even trying to leave. He wanted that opportunity to be down with them so bad that he waited on that motorcycle downstairs for so long that the man fell asleep. They wake him up, give him a little something. So now that gave him a little something turned into Alpo coming back to them every other day, because whatever they would give him, he would take it back and move it so fast and come back to them with the money that they started to be like, yo, man, this dude, we might could use this dude. But there was a trick to what Poe was doing. Now, this is what I heard that Poe was doing with the stuff that he was getting from AZ and Gangsta Lou. When they thought that he was moving his stuff fast and coming back with the money, he wasn't really selling the stuff. He would get the stuff from them, go back to wherever. Let's just say they would give him $500 worth. He would take the stuff, go around the corner somewhere, pull the $500 out of his pocket or borrow it from somebody, then come back to them within 2 or 3 hours saying, yo, I sold it all. But in all reality, he didn't really sell the stuff. He would borrow money from people, or if he had the money saved up or something like that, he was just trying to impress them to make it look like he was moving his stuff really, really fast. And he would come back to A and Gangsta Lou and them and be like, yo, I need more. What y'all giving me is not enough. My block is clicking. They buying it from me all day long. I got the block on lock. I need more. Give me more. So they would give him a little bit more, test him out. He would come back with the money within hours. They would give him a little bit more than they gave him the last time. It would be the same thing. And they started to trust this dude. Even though he was running a scam on him, he did start moving it the way he was supposed to later on. But in the beginning, he was running a scam on them, making them believe that he was this big time mover, but he was doing something else. Now, at this time, Richard Porter was running with a dude by the name of LA, and they was doing their thing in another part of Harlem. Now, this dude, LA, ends up getting murdered. Richard then moves his product from where him and LA was at down to where AZ and Gangsta Lou and them is at. And now Alpo is sort of in the equation. Richard Porter and AZ team up, put their stuff together, and become who they become. All Alpo was someone that they was giving stuff to, and he would take it back and move it at a fast rate. That's all Alpo was. We're going to be clear. He was not an official member of that crew like that. They fed the dog, and the dog kept coming around to the point where they fed the dog so much, they started to like the dog. They said, you know what? Bring the dog in the house, man. It's cold out here. Bring him in the house. We're going to clean him up, give him a leash. We're going to give him a name, and we're going to keep the dog, man. A guard dog or watchdog is a dog used to guard property against and watch for unwanted or unexpected human or animal intruders. The dog is discerning, so that it does not annoy or attack the resident humans of the house. AZ and Rich would go to the dealership. AZ would buy the white joint. Porter would buy the blue joint. They would bring it back to the block. The next day, they would see Alpo pull up in the same car they got, but a red one. So he was doing stuff to like show them that he wanted to be down with them that much. And it started to look to the people looking at these guys like they all were a team, because every time Rich and A would do something, Alpo would go and do the same thing. Now, for all who have seen the movie that was made about these guys, in that movie, there was a scene where Alpo and AZ was at the Rooftop, which was a legendary nightclub in Harlem. In that scene, there was a dude who was dating AZ's sister, and he had went to jail for a drug conviction. Now, when he was on the streets before he got caught, he was the man. And AZ was still learning his way into the game at that time, but he still worked at the cleaners. And that's how him and AZ knew each other, because he dated AZ's sister. And he would always come to the cleaners to drop off his clothes to be cleaned. Now, when this dude first came home,
wrong one.
AZ.
And remember that in the movie, right? AZ or Ace was working at the laundromat. His sister was dealing with a drug dealer. You know, the dude with the big glasses, had no lenses in him. I forgot who did that video, who pointed that out. But they like, yeah, and that was pedophilia. The sister was underage, remember? The sister was underage, and the dude was a drug dealer. But they looking at these dudes, you know, I had to see that. Because the way they telling these stories, these dudes was 15, 16. You know? I'm not hearing the dates, you know, the ages as the story progresses. But yeah. So that part was actually, you know, correlated to the movie.
He looked out for him, dated AZ's sister, and he would always come to the cleaners to drop off his clothes to be cleaned. Now, when this dude first came home, AZ looked out for him. He gave him some money. I think they said he bought him a car or something like that. He also gave him some stuff to get back on his feet. But in the process, Alpo is holding down these blocks in these spots. So he tells him, listen, I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you a little corner, but you're going to be under my man Alpo. Like, he running all the spots and the blocks. So you're going to do your thing, but just lay low. You got to be under him. But this dude didn't want that. And besides that, Alpo was real edgy. He wasn't with the back talk. He was straight business. He was really holding it down for Poe and Rich when it came down to those spots and those blocks where he had to go collect money from the dudes that was working for them. He didn't take no crap. He was real on point and serious about that money. And this dude didn't like that. He was so used to him having his own space, you know, him having his own corner, his own work. He wasn't used to working for Poe. He didn't really like the way Poe was moving. Poe, like I said, Poe was always outspoken. He was flashy. All the girls liked him. And the dude really didn't want to work for Poe because he felt like, I was the man at one time. I come home, now I got to work for this dude. And it's on my block. Everybody out here still know me. They knew who I was when I was out here before. Now I come home and this dude is the man that I'm looking like I'm one of his sons. So he came to the rooftop one night. Alpo and AZ was there. And he pulled AZ to the side. And he said, yo, listen, man. I respect what you're doing for me. I see what's going on. I see y'all making y'all moves out here. I respect that. He said, but yo, just give me something that where I can go on my own, man. He said, I'm not used to working for this dude. I don't really like the way this dude is moving. He too loud. And AZ told him, AZ said, listen, man, you got to just chill, man. You came home, you hot, everybody watching you, the police is watching you. So just chill, relax, take what I'm giving you, work for him, and then, you know what I'm saying, everything gonna work out. But the dude was like, nah, man, like I'm not I'm not listening to what you're saying, yo. I remember when I was out here, you was working in the cleaners. So what am I doing standing here listening to you tell me what I should do? Like, who are you to tell me anything, man? But that's how the dude felt at the time. And he was kind of right by feeling like that because he was the man before Rich and them became who they became. Anybody would have felt like that. So there's like a little argument between him and AZ. So while him and AZ is like going through their little difficulty, Alpo steps in and Alpo's telling AZ, listen, we don't need this dude, this, that, and the third. And Alpo was like going at the dude. And in the movie, I think Alpo threw like a little clip of a cigarette or something at him while it was lit. You know, the dude didn't want no problems with Alpo because he knew Poe was about that life. For real, for real. He was just really mad at AZ because he felt like, yo, now you got me and this dude beefing now. So what he did was he told AZ in the club, he said, you know what, man? Y'all got it. He said, I see what y'all doing. Keep doing your thing. I'ma holler at you. And he left. Now, because of that, y'all seen the movie. Y'all seen what AZ's sister's boyfriend did to AZ behind him not giving him the proper lane that he felt he deserved when he first came home. I ain't got to discuss that. Y'all seen the movie. But we going to fast forward a little bit now. So while AZ is out of commission, things start to happen. A lot of the spots that they had start to get robbed. A lot of things start to transpire. They're starting to lose a lot of money. And the only person that was out on the street retaliating against all of those guys who was robbing the spots and doing all the underhanded stuff with the work was Alpo. And he was really going around catching guys, doing them dirty because they had did something bad with the money or stole the work or something like that because they felt what happened to A, they felt like the team was falling apart and certain dudes started doing stuff feeling like nothing was going to happen to them. But Poe was running around catching these dudes and making examples out of them, doing stuff to these dudes in public so he could let everybody else see and let them know, listen, the next person that try to violate us or rob from us, this is what's going to happen to you. So in the process of all this, AZ is out of the game because he just recently almost got his life taken, but he survived. Then Richard's little brother gets picked up on his way from school and doesn't come home, and now he's missing. So while all of this is going on, stuff is going on the street. Alpo is out there. We're going to take it back a little bit. Like I said, Alpo is out there while all of this is going on. And AZ's out of the game. Richard's in a family situation where something real crazy has taken place. So he's kind of fell back for a little second trying to figure out what's going on with that. While all of this is going on, Alpo is on the street. Alpo has now become a guard dog or watchdog, is a dog used to guard property against and watch for unwanted or unexpected human or animal intruders. The dog is discerning so that it does not annoy or attack the resident humans of the house. Hit that like button. I mean, am I right or wrong? Tear those comments up, man. So now Harlem is kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? Things are happening. People are dropping left and right. Alpo decides to make a move to DC. So he's going to DC, taking stuff up there, making moves up there, coming back down to New York, getting more stuff, going back up there. You know, that whole back and forth thing. So while all of this is going on and AZ's out of commission for a while, Richard is in the process of going through trying to pay these guys to get his little brother back. During all of this going on, Alpo is the one going to the Connect to get the work. So he starts to inquire about how much the work is being brought for. So he asks Rich one day in the car, you know, how much are you getting these for? Or how much is the dude giving you to give me? And being that he had already been to the Connect and asked him and was told how much, Richard told him something else. And he felt like Richard was lying to him. Now, Alpo said that he asked Richard on 2 different occasions, how much are you getting the bricks for? Or it was something like, how many is the dude giving you to give me? the number that Rich would tell him was something different from what the Connect was telling Alpo. So Alpo in his mind was like, why is this dude lying to me? Because the Connect told me something else. So he's like, if this dude is lying to me about this, who knows what else he's lying to me about, or how much more money that these dudes is not giving me, or whatever the case may have been. He felt like Richard wasn't telling him the honest truth about how much he was getting or how much he was getting the bricks for. So Alpo said, all right, cool. He went back up to DC. He was out there running with some real dangerous dudes. One of those dudes went by the name of Big Head Gary, who was known in DC for doing real bad things to people. And Alpo had aligned himself with this dude, and Alpo was telling him like, yo, this dude is up there lying to me, and we gonna drive up there, and I'm gonna have you in the car with me, and if he lied to me about this one more time, I want you to take care of it. So they drove to New York. They picked up Rich, and Big Head Gary was in the back seat. Rich was in the front, and during the car ride, Alpo asked him and said, well, about those things, yo, how much you said you was getting those things for, or how many the dude is giving you to give me? And Rich said the same thing he said before. And through the rear view, Alpo gave Big Head Gary a sign, and Big Head Gary killed Richard. They then drive Richard and drop him off somewhere by City Island, where he was found by someone later on that night. Alpo and Big Head Gary now drive back to Harlem.
When I saw Alpo's turning point is when Rich died.
I was on my way to Otisville Penitentiary, upstate New York, to see someone. And Alberto had already told me prior to that, somebody kidnapped Richard's brother and they want money and they stuck his finger in the record and left it, all that. So it's like a van to take you up to the prisons of New York. They got the transportation service to take you. So I'm waiting with this girl from DC. I went with her. We waiting for the transportation van. I see the paper with Richard's brother on the front page. So I pick it up so I can buy it and read it. Because, Alberto already told me that the little boy was kidnapped. So I'm reading, and they found Richard. So right then and there, that was my friend too. I got like emotional, because he told me Richard's brother, but Richard wasn't dead at this point. So I'm reading the paper, and that's a hell of a way to find out.
And she called me and told me that she had saw it in the paper about Richard and his brother who got killed. And I was like, whoa, and I was scared and I was shocked. And I, scared because she was up there in New York where all these things was happening, And so, I think I told her to come on home or something. So Alberto happened to call me right after I talked to Karen, and I told him that I had just talked to her and what she had saw in the paper about Richard, And he was like, whoa, when? And I said, I just talked to her. And she was saying that she had the paper. He said, oh my God. He said, call Karen and tell her to come home. Get from up there down. She don't need to be up there. Too much crazy stuff going on. So I was like, okay. He said, damn. He said, you sure? And I was like, sure, I'm sure. She just called me and told me. He said, oh my God. He said, well, call her back and tell her I said to come on home. Get from up there now.
And she said, I told Alberto what you told me. So she was like, and he left this number. He said, call soon as you get, back to this lady's house, call. So I called and he was like, bring the paper that you saw that in. It was like, he didn't know, so I'm like, hold up. And he was like, you don't need to be up there. Stay right there. I'm going to call number 10. I'm like, who the hell is number 10? I'm going to call number 10 or something to come and get you to bring y'all home. You don't need to be up there right now. So I get to my mother's and he meet me there.
I got some more upstairs.
He read the paper. He had me fooled. He reading it and dropped his head like he upset, and I'm like, just watching, like, I'm getting all teary-eyed and stuff like, damn, they killed Richard. I can't believe this.
He went through the whole 9 yards, like, he ain't know nothing about it at all.
He was like, he lost his best friend.
Now, he then did that to Rich. Alpo feels like both of these dudes is out here getting all this money, giving me breadcrumbs. They lying to me. He just killed Rich, his best friend, somebody that looked out for him, somebody that he said he loved. Alpo said, we might as well kill two birds with one stone. There was one more person Alpo needed to eliminate. Now, he had just did that to Rich. He's got Big Head Gary in the car with him. Big Head Gary is like a bomb ready to go off. Alpo felt like these dudes is out here getting all this money and they lying to me, man. So we go and kill two birds with one stone. I want y'all to listen to what AZ had to say.
We was playing ball on the east side the night that Rich died. Me and my friends, late at night, we playing ball for a few dollars. And we hear some gunshots because of the highway. But we don't think that is. We just like, damn, somebody just lost their life. This is what we just say while we was playing ball. All right, so we come back to the block, go to the store, get some water. Like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And the Suzuki Jeep was creeping by on the opposite side of the street. And I look, I'm like, damn, it looked like Alpo in that car. I just waved my hand. He waved, swung a U, came around the block, pulled over. And he was like, what's up, man? And he had scratches on his face, like deep scratches in his face. I'm like, damn, what the fuck happened to you? Well, the scratches looked like he was still bleeding. And he was like, now my girl, man, DC, man, we had a fight. So I'm like, wow, damn, you don't heal easy then, because you look like you still bleed. But I'm blind to the matter of what took place. So this cat had drove past. He was like, oh, who that? It was this cat. He was like, that nigga owe me some money. I'll be back. So he jumped in the car. He had some other cat with him. I didn't even know who he was. He jumped in the car and he drove and he followed the dude. So after that, this girl had walked up on me. She said, what's up? I was looking for you. You was good. You gonna hang out with me? I said, all right, no problem. I said, let me go home and get a change of clothes first. I said, you drive. She got to give her the keys of the car. So she drove. I lived down the block at that time. So she drove down the block. My man and them, they got in their cars. They pulled off and they left. And when we pulled up in front of the building, I got out the car, about to walk upstairs. Alpo pulled up in the car. I was like, yo, hey, come here for a minute. One of my friends had pulled up on me. He said, yo, hey. He was like calling me. Both of them was calling me at the same time. And my man was like, yo, hey, it's important. It's important. So when I went to him first, I told Poe, I said, 1 second. I went to, he said, yo, dog, don't go over there. I said, why you say, see, yo, that nigga was in the cut, like, laying. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah. I said, all right. So I said, give me a minute, Poe. I went upstairs. You understand? And I came back down. I didn't know what was going on. But when I came back down, he wasn't there.
Did y'all hear what AZ said, man? AZ said when he came back downstairs, Alpo and Big Head Gary was gone. And I'm going to tell y'all why Alpo and Big Head Gary was gone. But that dude that just happened to pull up and be calling AZ from the other car at the same time that Alpo was calling him, that dude saved AZ's life. Because when that dude told him that, he knew not to go to that car first. That's why he told Alpo, hold on, I'm going to be right back. Let me run upstairs for a minute. Now, Alpo is a strategic, smart, quick thinker. So he knew that if AZ got a chance to get upstairs to his crib, he had a piece up there to protect himself. And that if he came down, it's not going to be an easy task just to do this dude out here like that, because he's going to have something to return fire with. So him and Alpo left. Alpo was the type of guy that he would have an enemy with a rival dealer that he didn't like, right? What he would do is, like, this guy is a star. He's like a rapper in the streets, this Alpo guy. So he would see this guy's girlfriend on the avenue shopping, and he would stop her and talk to her. Now, this is equivalent to a rapper walking up to you with all these big gold chains on. There's an expensive car sitting there playing music. Everyone is talking about this guy. He's a celebrity. And he would prey on these dudes' girlfriends and buy these girls gifts and do stuff for them without their boyfriends knowing. and then sleep with these women and record them with a video camera. And back then, not everyone had a camcorder. Camcorders were really expensive. So to these
And
guys,
that's a
it was
crime.
nothing to have.
You
like
see them
a
taping
camcorder.
women having sex
And
without their knowledge.
Alpo would record these girls while he was with them, doing a lot of different things. And to get back at his enemies, he would wait until it was a popping night at the rooftop and everyone was there, all the big time guys, including the enemies that he had beef with or the rival that he wanted to get back at. He would come to the rooftop, and while his rival is there, he would then pop in the videotape of him and this guy's girlfriend and have them play it inside the club so everyone can see this known guy's girlfriend that we all know. Alpo got her on tape in some type of hotel doing some type of crazy stuff. The guy is totally embarrassed. And it was Alpo's blatant way of telling these dudes, what are you going to do about it? And all of the times, dudes would do nothing to him because dudes were petrified of this dude, man. They knew that it would cost them their life if they tried to do something. So a lot of the times, instead of the dudes doing something to him, they would go back home and, argue with their girlfriends about it, or break up with their girlfriends about it. But it totally embarrassed and insulted these dudes' credibility in the street after he did stuff like this. This is some of the kind of energy that Alpo left in Harlem when he went to DC. Not just those things, more things. He did more things to people that was worse than that. This is the type of energy that he left with people in Harlem when he went to DC. There was also another situation where I don't know if Alpo was a rival of this dude. I don't know if Alpo was jealous of him, but I think it was Alpo wanted the dude's girlfriend or something like that, or Alpo wanted to date the dude's girl. And it was this dude's birthday party. Everyone knew this dude. So they're having like this big birthday party for the dude. Everybody's there. Everybody's all dressed up. The dude is there. He got a suit on, his family, all his friends. His girl is there, her family, all of her friends. So Alpo shows up to the dude's birthday party. And while everyone is wishing this dude a happy birthday, giving him gifts and all of that, Alpo walks up and grabs the birthday cake. And they hadn't even cut the cake yet. He picks up this dude's big birthday cake and walks up to the guy in front of everybody while people is taking pictures and stuff like that, and smashes the birthday cake in the guy's face and ruins the guy's suit and everything like that. In front of the dude's girl, all of their family and friends, and everyone is there, knows Alpo. Everyone is scared of him. The dude is scared of him. And that was his way of getting back at you or doing something to, in just for out of spite. You know what I'm saying? So I had to just speak on that, but that was a situation, that was an energy that he left with someone when he left Harlem. Like, whatever happened to those people? How many people he did stuff to like that? We can't even count, man. It's so many people that he did stuff to worse than that he didn't really do nothing to violently, just something where he embarrassed the people to where when they walk outside, everybody's looking at you and laughing and whispering and talking about it. This is the type of energies, once again, I'm going to keep saying it, that he left in Harlem with people when he went to DC. Now, this guy is in DC running with this dude, Wayne Perry. They get themselves into a world of trouble. Alpo catches 14 bodies, cops out to 14 bodies, goes to federal prison, serves 24 years, and comes home from that. And you're going to be sitting back in Harlem. Not to mention, everybody love the rich. We're going to get deep. Hit that like button now, man. The real reason Alpo was killed, man. You got the audacity to come back out here after all the embarrassment and hurt that you caused. We loved Rich, and you did that because you said you felt like Richard was lying to you, man. We're going to get so deep because what you mean you felt like Richard was lying to you? Let me rewind the story back a little bit. You was the dude riding the motorcycles, man. You was the thirsty dude that pulled up on us, asking us to help you out. When we came back up from upstairs, you was sleeping on the motorcycle. That's how dedicated and thirsty you was, that you was still out there. We hit you off, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, but we kept you good, man. You was buying cars just like us off the stuff that we gave you. So it don't matter how much we giving you, just be satisfied that we even working with you, that we even allowing you to be in our circumference. Not even to mention giving you work and all that, because we don't even do that for everybody. We don't even allow everybody to come around us. We brought you in, man, and you gonna do something like that to Rich after they looked out for you, after they brought you inside the house? Let me rewind the story a little bit. Leave the dog in the street, man. They brought the dog in the house, man, and kept on feeding it. And you know what? After a while, when that dog got comfortable and he got situated, he started to look around and wanted to find out where the rest of the food at, because they only giving me a little bit in their hand. But if they giving me this little bit in their hand, where's the whole bag of food at? And this is what was on Alpo's mind. So now look what's happening. What they brought inside the house is now turning against them and now attacking them. You ever be strolling through the park or in your neighborhood and you see signs that say, "Do not feed the pigeons"? It's a reason for that. Alpo brought down their whole empire. I mean, if y'all really look at it, if they would have left this dude outside and never did no business with him, Richard would still be alive today. That's why I said, leave the dog in the street. Because sometimes it don't pay to give these dudes a helping hand. Sometimes you got to leave these dudes exactly where they at and don't have no sympathy for them. Because you will bring these dudes in and they'll bite you. But Alpo just couldn't resist coming back to Harlem. I'm pretty sure that the authorities had told this man when he left the witness protection program, do not go back to Harlem, man, because it's people out there that are not going to be happy to see you around. But Alpo knew that he still had a lot of fear in people. He knew that a lot of people would look at him as if they saw a ghost when he popped back up on the scene. And he liked that. That made him feel like he still had some sort of power in Harlem. This is why Alpo kept showing his face around Harlem, because he also felt like no one is going to do anything to me for something that I did 30 something years ago. But the cherry on top for everyone was when Alpo came to Harlem and did like a little mini documentary. He had a guy filming him and he took the guy on the exact same route that him and Big Head Gary drove Richard the day that they did what they did to him. He also took the guy to the location where they left Rich's body at. And for Harlem, that was a real smack in the face, because the little documentary that he did ended up on a lot of major platforms and a lot of people saw it. And I don't think that was cool. I think it was disrespectful to Harlem. I think it was disrespectful to Rich's family. So there was a lot of people that didn't want to see Alpo back around, period. So there were a lot of people that wanted to do something to him for something that he did a long time ago that was still walking around the streets of Harlem. And all of a sudden now, this dude has the audacity, the guts to pop back up around here on a regular basis and be mingling around and even approaching dudes, asking them, do they have a problem with him over something that he heard that they said about him. You know, people were really upset by that, because it was kind of like he was smacking Harlem in the face, and those people who were real individuals felt like he was slapping them in the face and disrespecting them as well by coming back around there, showing his face and making it look like to everybody else that these dudes are scared of me because even though I did XYZ to them back in the days, and he just saw me, or he sees me standing over here right now and he's not doing nothing, made dudes feel like punks. You know what I'm saying? And they know that people are still paying attention. People know he's back around. And these dudes are not trying to feel the way he made them feel back in the days. So, you know, somebody, we don't know who it is, but somebody took it upon themselves to go, yo, I'm tired of seeing this dude come back around here and he's trying to make us look soft. And finally, I'm going to handle this. And somebody took it upon themselves to do that. So I ask y'all, do y'all think that this was a paid hit? Do y'all think somebody young and brave did this? Or do y'all think it was someone from back in the days that he did something to that had just got tired of seeing this dude show his face around the neighborhood? I also heard that there was a female involved in this. Do y'all think that a female set Alpo up? But I'm going to say what I said in my live video. Alpo could have come back to the streets and made a positive, beautiful impact and cleaned up his whole image. But no, Alpo decided to return back to the streets of Harlem and taunt the very same people that he did stuff to in the early 80s. But honestly, for me, Alpo knew he was going to go. Alpo knew that if he kept going around Harlem, that somebody was going to do something to him. I mean, he was 55 years old. Alpo didn't want to leave this world old and broke because he definitely wasn't getting the same kind of money. You know, who knows where he was at financially. You know, the guy could have really been doing bad, you know. So I believe by him going back and forth to Harlem on those days and being in the club is because he knew that those was his last days. And he just said, yo, when I go, I want to go right in Harlem. That's why Alpo kept showing his face around there because, you know, when y'all really look at it, it was his last days. You know, at that age, you know, ain't really much left to do. You know, you can't really be out in the street mingling, doing what you've been doing, or, you know, all that stuff is over with. It's a new day. New York is different. Harlem is different. And Alpo saw that. He came back to Harlem with that same 1980s bravado. And he thought that when he came back to Harlem, he would see some of the same things that he saw when he was out there. But when Alpo came back to Harlem and saw how different it was and how many new faces was out there, you know, he couldn't live with that. Alpo knew that after everything that he had did, that if he kept showing his face around Harlem, that someone would eventually come and close his book. He knew that. He didn't know when. It was kind of fun because it took quite a while for it to happen. You know, a lot of people was expecting for something to happen to Alpo when he first came home. So he had a little run, you know, but he got carried away, you know, and the person that did this to him noticed that he was getting carried away. I guess now we can say that the game is officially over. This has been episode 29 of The Real Rap Show, the real reason Alpo was killed. Rest in peace to Richard Porter. Rest in peace to Alpo. Rest in peace to Donnell Porter. This is your man Supreme. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody stay safe out there. Tune in for the next show.
Next show.
What he was dressed like. I mean, like, how did you know immediately that's who the Alpo character was? Did he need an introduction? Did he get a chance to introduce himself?
No, actually, no. Kurt Bone introduced us. Kurt Bone was like, man, this is a good man. Y'all some good men. This is where I get my shit from. All right. So, this is Alpo from New York. This is Tank and Lil Spark is.
Okay. How old were you the day that you met Alpo?
87. I probably was like 15.
How old would Andre have been?
15, 18. They was even 19. They're like 4 years older than me, 5 years older.
All right. So y'all done met a new contact from New York City, and it's Alpo. Y'all off and running. How's things going?
All right, so we start fucking with off the top. We only getting probably 5.
And these the dudes from DC that he ended up like really snitching on. You know, Andre, one of the dudes he murdered. I think who was Andre was the dude that was messing with the one dude, big head girl. What's his name? I don't know why I want to say Greg, but it's not.
5 joints. But we get 5 joints.
Gary.
But at the same token, later on that night, we might get 5 more. The next day we get 5. We might get 3 the next day. So Poe got scared for real. Alpo Rent got scared.
Y'all copying too much.
Right. So he go back to Kirk and be like, man, you sure these little niggas all right? But they selling all this shit at?
Yeah.
So Kirk was like, man, everybody know Tank and Spark is. Go ask.
Right.
So he went over Southeast. He went everywhere, asked bitches about Tank and Spark is. He come back, good resume.
Look at these motherfuckers. Getting that bag. Look at that little boy right there. Y'all see that little boy? Five keys. Waiting on more.
Everybody loved Tank and Spark is, even the niggas back then.
Right.
So he started coming through 16th Street. Posted up sometimes, come through to get out the holler, fuck a couple bars out there.
What part of the city is 16th Street?
Northeast, Trinidad, up top, 16th Street.
Okay, go ahead.
16th Street run like 5 or 6 blocks.
So he used to come visit you on the Trinidad neighborhood.
Right. And so he was like, everybody love y'all. Let me hang with y'all. So my nigga, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Cool, you can hang with us all you want. I wasn't tripping. But Dre was like, man, you never hang with your connect with the club.
Right.
Never do that. So Dre gated it, was like, nah. And Dre made up excuses like, I don't want niggas to get jealous. Stop hanging with them. You hanging with us. I don't need that shit right now.
Yeah.
So that was a rejection. The first rejection right there from the Alpo Rent back then. So we used to continue to do shit with Poe. So as time going, we pumping with Poe. Dre was like, you want to expose our hand to Alpo Rent? So I'm like, fuck it, why not? So we meet Alpo Rent. We tell him we want 50 bricks, 50 joints. He couldn't serve us. He said, all I'm getting is 33 joints. But take our money, put in his money, he'll give us the joints for cheap.
Right.
I'm young, I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, okay. Dre like, nah, we ain't doing that shit.
Right.
So Dre gave it. So he was like, we got what we gonna get, we rolled out. So Poe thought about some shit. He came back the next day, or a few days later, was like, how about this? I come down, I serve y'all 33 joints. I just make 1,000 or 2 off each joint. Y'all serve all y'all homies, since everybody love y'all. I don't have no dinners with nobody else.
Right. That's how it should be.
But my nigga, I thought the same thing, but my nigga Dre was like, nah, I don't want the niggas in our business. They don't know what we buying. I'm gonna keep it like that.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. That was a second rejection coming from my nigga to Poe. So time goes on. Poe was at the Easter homecoming with Kirk and everybody. It probably was 20 deep. They clowning Poe.
Okay.
Saying that he in love with a hood rat, this, that, and that.
Who was the hood rat?
My homegirl Fuzzy.
All right.
Actually, he got a baby by Fuzzy. I think it's a little boy by Fuzzy now.
All right.
Right? So
DC guys was telling him that she's a hood rat?
Kirk Bone and the whole North Langston church was telling them, man, don't fuck with her like that. You gonna fuck her.
Right.
So Kirk came up to me and was like, hold up, man, check this shit out. You got this little nigga Sparky is fucking her. You falling in love with her. So Kirk came up and was like, Sparky is, man, when the last time you fuck? You be fucking Fuzzy? I said, yeah, I be fucking Fuzzy. I fuck Fuzzy like yesterday. That's my bitch.
Right.
So everybody laughing at Poe, clowning.
Right.
From that point on, I ain't know Poe ain't like me because of that. So my best friend girl, Michelle, was at a pool party, Passion Corner. You take a picture, like there was a Polaroid picture. You take a picture, you gotta come back and pick the shit up once it developed and all that wild shit. So
right.
The picture developed, Poe went to Mr. G, asked him, can he get the picture for $1,000? Mr. G was, I think Mr. G was like, no, I can't sell a picture. Poe was like, I don't want the picture. Tell her I got it. So he did that. She'll come out for a picture. Mr. G sends her Poe out for the wreck.
Right.
So he trying to talk to her. My baby mother trying to tell Michelle to talk to her. So Big Head Gary was like, Michelle was like, Big Head Gary, you know my fiance, don't do that. Big Head Gary gonna say, fuck that nigga. So when he said fuck that nigga, Poe gave the picture back. He ain't get no play on that particular day. She came back and told us, my nigga Dre was like, them niggas think you need money to fuck a bitch. I'm gonna show them niggas you don't need no money to fuck no bitch. So I'm like, you gonna fuck Fuzzy? He was like, nah, I'm gonna fuck Gary bitch, Caprice. So I'm like, bet, fuck that bitch. Right. So Dre get her, fucks her. She on Dre line. So the word get out. Gary was fucking with another homegirl from Northwest. Real tough. And Caprice was down like jealous of her. So when he threw my Northwest homegirl name in Caprice's face, Caprice threw my nigga Dre name in Gary's face. Right. So Gary get to cry in front of her, this, that, and that. So one day I'm down the corner, walking. Because Gary pulled up on me. Sparky is tell your man, I need my 50,000. I said, my nigga don't owe you no 50,000. My money is his money. If he owe anybody, I'm gonna know about it.
That's big head
Both of us
Gary.
have to pay that. You don't know what you're talking about. This Sparky is tell your
Big head Gary. Skinny, short motherfucker, big head. That's the one that killed Rich.
man, I need
Was shot Rich.
my 50,000. I said, my nigga don't owe you no 50,000. My money is his money. If he owe anybody, I'm gonna know about it. Both of us have to pay that. You don't know what you're talking about. You know everything, no Sparky. I said, I do know when it comes to money with my motherfucking nigga, dude. This man, I don't want to hear that shit. Tell your nigga I need my 50,000. Mm-hmm. So I get to, I leave the car immediately, get in the car. I called my nigga up. He sent my package from the subway. I said, grab me a sandwich on my way up here. This bitch ass nigga, big head Gary. I goes up there. I get my strap on my stash. I jump in the arm. So they talked for a couple more minutes. All I seen was them shake hands. So we got in the car. I said, what that shit was about? I said, man, he was crying to me about Caprice fucking this bitch. He come home every night telling this bitch how much he liked Dre, how much he look up to Dre. If something happened to him, he wouldn't mind her fucking with a nigga like Dre. If not Dre, turn around with Dre fucking this bitch. So basically, I asked Dre to stop fucking this bitch. They apologized. He apologized for saying fuck Dre and this, that, and that. So they shook hands on it, and that was it.
Didn't y'all kill someone else that was from your crew?
His name was Andre. The one that was the main reason because he was.
I think I heard that story.
You know, he came to kind of like put it together, find out, but he never said nothing. Now, he met my man's girl somewhere somehow, and he booked her, and they was doing their thing. And the girl Caprice was kind of like, she was starting to get real unhappy with my man Gary because he really had her on lockdown, kept her in the house with the baby and all that. She couldn't really do nothing and all that. We had bought her a convertible BM and all that, but she couldn't really drive it. When she drove it, she had to be certain places. So he really had her on lock and had her scared. So Kid Andre met her, whatever, and you know, I guess. So we found out about it. My man Gary found out about it. And he called me. This is when we was tight like that. He called me. He was like, "Yo, Paul, I need to talk to you." I said, "All right." So I met him or whatever. He's like, "Yo, this nigga Tank messing with my girl. This and that, man. I'm going to step to him. You know, that's my people and all that." I said, "Hold up, Gary. Let me." And my man Gary was like, "Yo, that's it." He was ready to just take him out. So because he knew that was Gary's baby mother, and you didn't do that. Right. So, and you know, I'm boning Andre's girl. So I'm like, oh man. So let me go talk to him first. And again, the kid Andre never said nothing to me. He knew I was boning thing, never said nothing to me. So, and he wasn't no tough guy. And he didn't, you know, he was about getting $1. So I went to go talk. I said, "Yo, Andre, check this out. I mean, you're doing business, money's good, this and that, but yo, you got to stop boning Gary's girl, man. You got to stop messing with her, man, because he knows he's upset, and you know he giving fair warning. I mean, he's letting this one go because he don't believe y'all had sex or whatever, and I don't even want to know. But whatever you're doing with her, let it go, man. No, it ain't worth it, man." He was like, "Yo, I hear you, good looking out, this and that." He told me this straight in my face. About 2-3 weeks passed. My man Gary called me, "Kid." He beat me. "Yo, come see me, man." So I go meet him. Kid Andre got to die, man. Check this out. He was doing it again, man. He's still seeing Caprice and this and that. I said, "All right, man." He said, "Man, this time I want to talk to him." So I said, "All right, no problem." So I had a deal with the Kid Andre for about 270. Okay. About 270,000 this day. He wanted some drugs. So I said, "Yo, we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm going to meet him, take care of this business with him, and you can talk to him at the same time." So So I go meet the kid.
Produced by
We go meet the kid at my favorite
Productions.
spot over there, Minnesota and Pennsylvania Avenue, over there by Amazon. I told Gary, I said, just chill, man. Let me go talk to him. I have my 5.0 this day. I said, let me go talk to him, and then you come. So I got into the truck. I told the kid, I said, what's up, man? I said, everything all right? He said, yeah. I said, well, what's going on, man? You bad? He said, nah, this and that. So my man Gary, here come my man Gary. As I'm talking to the kid Andre jumped into the back of the caravan to go get the money out and all that. And I was over in the passenger seat. So my man Gary, he comes from out my car, which he was in the passenger, and comes around through the driver's side to the empty seat. So the kid Andre is coming from the back seat to the middle seat now with the bag of money. So as soon as the kid Andre turns around to look at me and let me know that the bag that my man Gary is coming in the car and hit him right in the head. Boom! My man Gary was strapped all the time. He knew he was going to kill him, but he knew not to tell me because I was going to tell him, no, don't do that. So now I'm like, oh, Gary, what the hell? He's like, yo, man, the hell with that dude, man. He was this and that, disrespect. I said, all right. But in my mind, I'm saying, yeah, you're right. Because now I got the girl all to myself, so we killed two birds with one. I'm saying, I'm going to miss the money, but I got the girl now, too. Got the 270 now. So I take the money. I said, man, what the hell? I take the money. He had a Rolex on. We left all that. I said, man, follow me in the car, man. I said, here, take this bag. Take the car. Follow me. So we drove about 5-6 blocks away from that area. Right. Like in a residential area, a nice quiet block. Just party. Everybody out, all the niggas. I jumps up, go around all feast, over Dre father house. Everybody out, all the niggas be fuck. Well, I was like, man, everybody looking for Dre, man, ain't seen him. I said, he went to meet the nigga Pope. So I said, I know where they meet at. Let's go. So we stopped up in all the spots that Pope met me and Dre before. One the curve and one near. The time we got back, I didn't know who put a trick at the time, but I know Pope set it up. So I supposed to went with Dre, but he left me. Right. So a lot of people think me and Dre be together so much. I had something to do with it. Why I went with him at this time. I said, if they left me, what can I do?
Right. So they actually was leery of you because you weren't around when that happened to him?
That's why me and Dre stay together. We don't see, you see Dre, you see me, you see me, you see Dre. The side when I go off at night to get some solo pussy.
Alpo was charged with, like, I think he played guilty to like 13 murders. Was Andre one of them?
I think he confessed that girl, somebody killed Dre. I'm driving past the Metro Club one night. Essence was down the Metro Club. I think it might have been a Thursday. I see these two niggas cars and I fuck with both of them turn red. Same thing, my man Chico, Carlton Wills, he turned red. And Kermit Oliver called Kale, he turned red. But back then they wasn't the red. They was my niggas back then. So I seen their cars, I pulled over at the Met. At a bitch with me. So I'm going to Met, there's a broad in the car. As soon as I get in there, they said, the niggas in here. As soon as they said that, holding my back. And those sparkers in the heart just like, what's up? So they was like, man, you telling a girl that I had something to do with Dre getting killed. Or I killed Dre. I said, check this out, man. I don't tell no bitch none of my business. I thought you had something to do with my nigga killed me. See you about it. Because, man, I love y'all, man. I'm here for you. Anything you need. You ain't gonna have no money. I got you. Biggie Gary did that shit. He told him Biggie Gary right there on the spot. That's Gary Capri shit.
You serious?
Yeah. He shook my hand.
God damn. Hey, this nigga up right on the spot.
You ain't gonna have no money, I got you. Biggie Gary did that shit. He told him Biggie Gary right there on the spot. That's Gary Capri shit.
You serious?
Yeah. He shook my hand and said, that's Gary Capri shit. Gary did that shit.
So that was the last time you seen him face to face?
It's the last time I seen him face to face.
What year was that?
Dre got killed in 91. Probably like.
Yo, what's up, it's TK Kirkland?
Fucked up. Fucked up. That is fucked up. Yeah, man, I'm finna finish my PowerPoint, man. It's another part. We'll be back. I got some other stuff that in the Chicago drill scene. And then we can get into a discussion. You know what I'm saying? Open panel. Shout out to the people, peers, and the judges, man. Been gonna spend a little time with my baby Katrina, finish my PowerPoint, take the dog out, and I'll be back, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Hit that like button on y'all way out. It's the boy Swamp Boss. This has been another episode of The Argument League.
I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated.